Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the latest race here around the Hedge Racing League. It is round number 7. Not too sure where my co-host is, or host. I think I'm meant to be the co-host, but hopefully Hedge will be joining us shortly. And it is round 7 here in the HRL, and we are here for Imola. A couple of drivers, I think, are jumping in late, hence why we're a bit late with the stream. Just trying to hopefully ensure that we have some game audio by the looks of it. None of the game order has jumped in. In fact, there it is. I think we have got a little bit of game audio. I think it is working fine. Hopefully Hedge will be joining us shortly. But we're here for round number 7 around Imola. Currently on board with the man who has dominated for the most part. That is Jerome. And yeah, he's hoping to extend his lead and just keep pulling away in what's been a very dominant season so far in the HRL. What we'll do while we're waiting for Hedge, got a couple of bits and pieces to show you guys while these guys are out on their outlap. So we'll have a little look at how the previous round in China finished up. So the race win went to Nathan JB. It was probably the most dramatic end to any race in Hedge racing history. And I've only been commentating for this season, but from what I got from Hedge, the impression very much was that it was without doubt the most dramatic of endings to a race, with Nathan overtaking both Jay Lawler and Jerome on the penultimate corner on the final lap, jumping from 3rd to 1st to win the race. Jerome still damage limitation finished 2nd with Jay Lawler 3rd on the podium. Vipers Ken was 4th. And yeah, and DC 5th with Hobbsy 6th, AJ 7th, Little One 8th, Mazel's 9th, J Luke was in 10th. Outside the points was Alex Dobson, Riordan, Bailiff, PO, KXI, Mark Wilson was a lap down towards the end. J Wills was the J Wills, Jack Pretty, J Bowie, and AFL were all DNFs. What that does then for the Drivers' Championship, despite Jerome not winning, he still has a very, very convincing lead at the top. I'm not too sure exactly what the maths may be, but I think 41, yeah, what's that? 62, 63 points the lead. I think it's a 62-point lead that he has at the top. May have got my maths completely wrong there, but it's something along them lines. A very consistent, strong start from Jerome. If he doesn't win the race, he's certainly going to be up there. But Jay Lawler is the closest man to him, all the way down on 59 points. He'll be the one hoping to claw back the deficit. He has been one of the few drivers who we can, confidently say has been a little bit closer to Jerome in terms of race pace. It's just getting ahead of him and finishing ahead of him that is the crucial thing. Vipers Ken, another one who can compete with Jerome at the top. Just had a few inconsistent mistakes here and there so far. He is in 3rd, and Nathan with that win is up to 4th. You've got Alex Dobson just behind him, a point ahead of Luke, who's a point ahead of Hobbsy, who's a point ahead of Bowie. Little One on 28 points, DC is on 25, Age is on 22, and Riordan is on 21. As for the constructors, as you can imagine, with Jerome's incredible start to the season, as well as a solid start for Riordan as well, Aston Martin out in front with 142 points. Haas are the closest competitors to them. Again, I think that is half the points, or just less than half the points what Aston Martin has got. But it's a good fight for second between Haas, Mercedes, and Alfa Romeo, even down to McLaren and Williams, who aren't that far behind. Ferrari are 7th on 34, just ahead of Red Bull and Alpine. AlphaTauri, arguably the only team who haven't quite got off to a good start down there in 12, with 12 points in 10th. So, do let me know that the stream is looking okay. I know we did stream this a few weeks back on my channel. I think it was probably mostly due to the weather that we had a couple of issues. I'm going to just jump into the voice chat that Hedge will hopefully be joining pretty soon, and I'm going to just adjust the balance, so hopefully be able to hear the engines of the cars a little bit more until Hedge joins, and then we can adjust it back. But a wet to dry race, that's exciting. We love a wet race as commentators, we don't get them enough. I'm sick of driving in wet races, but it's good to commentate in one. But do let me know if the audio looks fine. If the stream is a bit pixelated as well, by the way, sometimes it is the Wi-Fi or internet where you are. You can go into the bottom right corner, the settings button on the stream, and you can adjust the pixels there. And if you ask for it to show you a higher rate of pixels, like 720 or whatever. Hopefully the stream should load up for you. So yeah, if you are struggling and it does look a bit pixelated, you can alter the settings yourself. Do not worry about that. Your internet just adjusts to what it thinks is the optimum performance for your stream, but you can change it, so it's all good. So don't worry if it might look a bit pixelated from time to time. Anyway, good evening to Daniel. Thank you for joining us. Good evening to Bowie as well, racing tonight. Likes to sit in the pits till the very end, does Bowie, so hopefully you'll get a lap in soon. Good evening to Daniel, supporting Mark and Bailiff as always. Good evening to Mrs. Matt, live in the channel, in the chat. Thank you, Mrs. Matt, for joining. And thanks to Bowie for the update on the race. Very exciting. So let's have a little look on track then. See what's going on. Our tracks are so far drawn, setting the pace 6/10 ahead of DC. Mark Wilson is in third with a pretty good lap there from Mark, 15.8. My good friend Pio is just behind him with a 16.1 ahead of Bailiff, who I'm currently fighting wheel to wheel in the CRL Tier 4 Championship. He's out there getting some practice for the Imola Grand Prix, which I think might be coming up pretty soon. He absolutely wipes a ball out there for good measure. But he's actually ahead of Jill Lawler, who may or may not have set his lap on the mediums. Yeah, he has. Little one's on what I don't know if he set his lap on wet tyres, but he's got the wet selected. I don't know if that's a sign of what is to come in qualifying. Nathan's also got the inters selected. Has he come out on inters? I'm trying to... He has. Nathan has come out on intermediates. Now, I don't know if that's the game glitching for Nathan. I mean, I know he's a very good, competent driver, but unless the game's glitching for me, and I'm not seeing the right tyre, which can happen, or the game's put Nathan on the wrong tyre, he will not want to be out on them inters, because they will be absolutely burning up and tearing up in these, these very dry temperatures. It looks like a dry track. It might turn wet gradually. Clouds don't look too great, but unless the drivers can see something that I can't, and it is indeed going to start raining. Maybe it is going to start raining. If it is, then the guys who've put a lap in on the slicks can sit back and relax, because if it is going to rain, then that is it for them. They've got the lap in. So we'll see what Nathan does. Little one is sat there with wets. I don't know what's happened there. But Vipers Ken will be on board with him. Very quick driver on his day, as we know. Ethan, my lap was on full wet. Why was that? Ethan, please do elaborate on why that is, because unless I'm seeing something that you aren't, or not seeing something you are, the track looks relatively dry for me. But Vipers, flying around the track on mediums, looking relatively quick. More than comfortable with the current conditions. Love that double right. Quick double right-hander downhill, then it quickly switches to an uphill right, where you can lose the car, and it's easy to extend track limits. Little chicane. Can cut a lot more of the first corner than you can on the exit, as Vipers comes down towards the final two corners. Jill Lawler and Hobbsy both put laps down on the mediums. Be interesting to see what Vipers can put down with his first lap. DRS activated, crosses the line, and Vipers can go second with a 1:15.5, which is only 4/10 behind Giron on a harder compounded tyre, which is a very good lap for him. Let's see if Riordan, I think, is the next guy, unless he's on an in lap. He is coming into the pits. Jack Pretty out there. Ooh, might have just jumped on him as he maybe invalidated there on that very corner I was just mentioning. So that's a shame for him. Should be able to maybe get round and go again on them soft tyres. We've got free fall. Getting looks like a bit of a tour from Nathan. And let's hope free fall, well, he is on an outlap, so not going to lose out on anything. Nathan's still out on them intermediates. And he is trying to set a lap on the inters. Now, I don't know if there's a glitch here, because Nathan's absolutely pushing on these inters, but there's no rain on track. It looks dry as anything, so yeah, he's already put a 120. Yeah, he's nowhere near. He's to 125. I'm very confused. If any of the drivers can elaborate on track conditions or what, I feel like I'm going mad watching this. But fair play to Nathan. I mean, he's set the 12th fastest lap out of 14 on inters. That's not bad going when you know, it is a dry session. But here comes free fall. Scott, who I am battling with into full. Nathan maybe getting in his way there a little bit on the outside. Hopefully that hasn't impeded Scott's lap too much. But Scott, obviously, in Tier 4 in the CRL, he's jumped from pad to wheel, a very quick driver on padding and getting quicker on the wheel. He'll be hoping to improve. He's already what looks like 12 seconds up. So that would put him a 118, which still would only just have him in the top 10. Still waiting on Hedge. He said he'd be 5 minutes, 10 minutes ago, so I don't know what Hedge is playing at. But anyway, free fall crosses the line, and it is around P10, a 117.3 from Scott. That's a good lap from him. He'd be relatively happy with that. A couple more guys cross 9. Nathan looks like he's going again. As we are watching the little one, he's on an out lap. Bowie just starting his lap, so we'll see what Bowie can do. Normally likes to leave it quite late in the session, does Bowie. Only one goes out, of course. Good point. That's a good point. That might be Hobbsy in the chat. I didn't actually realise there. Yeah, we've only got 16 drivers. So yeah, we must be. Although I don't know if in the Discord if a couple of guys were jumping in mid quali, I don't know if they'll have to just sit in the pits or if they'll be able to put a lap in. But they're going to be struggling for time to get in now anyway. But yeah, I guess if you can get through on inters or wets in a dry session, it's not something you see every day. But yeah, good point there. Only noticing that there is only 16 drivers. If a few reserves do join mid-quali, it'll be interesting to see if they do put a lap down or have time to put a lap down. But I guess it's worth putting a banker down anyway, just in case the reserves do or don't join. Bowie, though, has definitely put himself under a bit more pressure in validating his first lap. The little one out on his lap, coming towards the end, or coming into sector 3. Took that chicane relatively nicely, nice on the exit. Take as much of that exit curb as you dare. And the little one might make the likes of Nathan a little bit nervous here, because J. Luke and JB Bowie are also way more capable of quicker laps. The little one will cross the line. And let's see what time he can put on the board. And he puts himself up to P9 with a 16.4. J. Luke's on an out lap currently. And Bowie's round. Wow, JB Bowie is facing the wrong way. What a time to jump on board with him there. That's must have had a spin. And them mediums will not be in the best condition. He should hopefully be able to still put a decent lap on them. But pressure on Bowie now, actually. 3 minutes 44. Could he get in the pits and stick a new set on, or is he going to have to commit to this set of tyres? By the time he gets into the pits, he's probably going to be pushing on 2 minutes 30 to get back out again. It'll be tight. Not the position he wants to be in. Well, that's what can happen when you leave it late in a session. Put yourself under a bit of pressure, even though there is only one car that's going to be eliminated. Nathan is back out on soft, so J. Luke and Bowie here really taking a risk, the McLaren boys. But Bowie is going to push. He's committing to these medium tyres. His teammate just behind him, so the two McLarens have to make these laps work, you think. Cammy has just joined, so I think a couple of drivers are joining, but they're going to have to be very quick to get their setups on, get their tyres selected, and get themselves out on track if they're going to get through the next round or give themselves a chance anyway. DC retired in the pits. He's happy with his lap time. And I don't see why he shouldn't be with a 15.7. Riordan thinking the same. Here's Bowie. I don't know if this is where he invalidated last time, but he just keeps it within the track there. That's good. Looks like there's been a spinner as Jerome's got the wet tyres on now, and Clearly they're not feeling too great. He's went round. Back to Bowie. I feel like it would be something special for one of these two McLaren boys to get through at the moment, with being the only ones who are setting lap times on the mediums at the moment. Obviously Vipers Ken and Jay Lawler have got themselves through. Can Bowie put himself through on the medium tyre as well? And he has. He's gone up to P12. That's a great lap from Bowie. And Jay Luke has invalidated again, so he's got to get a good lap in. He's got one chance at it, really. I guess he could go again. He's got just enough time to maybe make 2 laps of this, but pressure on Jay Luke, a guy who is quick enough to be towards the front of the grid. It would be a shock if he went out in Q1. But he's put himself in all sorts of pressure to get through. Can be an awkward track for track limits. Imola. So let's see what Jay Luke can do then. Love this left-hander. Again, runs wide and invalidates again. Jay Luke has invalidated again, and he has just enough time to get through and set another lap. And I think finally, I think my commentator partner is here.
I apologise. Good evening. How are we?
What bloody time do you call this?
So,
have you been celebrating the City win or something? What?
Oh, it's been a mental day, mate. But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna you know me, mate. I'm honest. I won't lie to you. I never win any bets in all my life. I'm not. By the way, I'm not saying you should bet. You know, a lot of young people here. You know, don't encourage betting. Be gamble aware and all that. But never ever won a bet in all my life. Today, City, I won 30 quid. Then I put an accumulator on for £1. I needed AC Milan to win, so I've been in the front room with my dad screaming for AC Milan. They just won. I just won £200 today.
Oh, congrats. That's a dream day for you, isn't it? City win, 200 quid up. Wow.
Mate, what a day. I didn't want to lie. You know, I didn't want to come on the stream and make a lie up, so I do apologise, but I did get very excited.
Hey, Hedge, I mean, it's one of them. You don't know whether to cash out or not. I mean, 200 quid, yeah, fair play. That's.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I didn't want to lie, mate, and say I've been doing something else. Well, I've not, you know. So I do apologise. I'm a bit disappointed to have only got 16 in Q1, which is a bit of a shame. Not sure who after. I've not even been in the chat, mate. It's been a mental day today. My voice has already gone a little bit. So I think, as you can probably tell, my voice is a bit. It's been a very good day today, so I'm looking forward to it. How's Q1 been? Do you want to update me? Any gossip?
Yeah, so we've been through all the championships and all that jazz. As you say, only 16 drivers, so only one's going to be eliminated. Jay Luke, who obviously is one of our quicker drivers, just put himself under too much pressure and just kept invalidating, and I think it's just give up. I think his mediums might have gone, so Jay Luke looks like the man who's going to be eliminated, which is a shock, I think.
Big shock.
Yeah.
I think he's normally someone that is well in the mix for quali. Again, you know, it's a little bit easier tonight to get out of Q1, isn't it? Because obviously there's only 16. Yeah, Free Falls actually got out of Q1 for the first. Obviously, I know it's a bit easier because it's not 20, but for the first time this season, I think we are expecting. I'm just trying to catch up with the chat. So Matt, I do apologise, mate, for missing Q1. Very unprofessional of me.
Oh, it's
but, you know, so not every day your team wins a derby, and not every day you win a bit of money. So it's been a nice day today.
Well, beating United, mate, it's a good feeling, isn't it? It's a great feeling. I can relate to that.
Well, you can, mate. You can indeed. It's been a good week for you as well. You know, quick football talk. Borough getting the big win in the FA Cup, one step from Wembley. So, all in all, me and Matt have had a very good week in terms of football. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, well, beating Tottenham's not for everyone, Hedge. You know what I'm saying?
I can't even lie. We've played them twice this season, lost both games. So I can't even argue with that. But you know what? That's in the past, mate. We won today 4-1, and I couldn't have been happier. So
we're a step closer to meeting at Wembley, aren't we? Step closer.
Well, that's the plan. If anyone doesn't know me and Matt's a big Borough fan, I'm a big City fan. And the plan is for us to meet at Wembley for a pint, and we've been saying that since round 3, since Borough played United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And it keeps getting close. So we're literally one game potentially away from a Man City versus Middlesbrough FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. Hopefully. And you got Chelsea as well, haven't you? So I really hope you beat them.
Yeah, me too.
But you know, we'll see. I don't want to talk too much about gambling and football. It's not great on an F1 stream, is it? So apologies for everyone.
Hedge Racing, sponsored by Paddy Power.
Just to clarify, betting is not, you know, I don't encourage betting. You know, I'm not a gambler myself. No, we're just, you know, Derby Day. You got to have a bet on Derby Day, haven't you? Got to have a bet on Derby Day.
He'll be sponsored by Sky Bet next week. You watch, that'll be it.
Well, I'm actually banned from Sky Bet. That's a long story.
All right.
So I'm a Bet 365 man, maybe. But
Right.
anyway, we're into Q2. Do you know what the weather is for tonight? Have you been told?
Do you want to know, Hedge? And I'm expecting your day's going to get even better.
It's going to rain, isn't it?
Wet to dry.
I know I don't like Sundays, but this Sunday's getting better and better and better by the minute.
It's great, innit? It's great.
I'm just trying
to dry.
I'm just trying to. Thank you for streaming, by the way. I really do appreciate that. You streamed in Portugal, was it, a couple of weeks ago? And I was really impressed with the. I'm not very technical with computers, but like the standings on the screen and stuff were really, really good. Which is why I thought it'd be better. I know I've had a few issues with my stream over the past few weeks. So I thought everything you see looked really good when you did. What's it called? That is it?
OBS.
What it's called. OBS, that's the one.
Yeah.
I did not have a clue how to do that, but when I watched the stream, it looked really, really good. So I thought, well, let Matt stream. So I can't see any of the comments tonight. I'll have to go on. It's a bit strange. I'll have to go and watch the stream myself. But I'm guessing there's a few people. I know Mrs. Edgy's watching. She's already messaged me. She messaged me saying, "Where are you? I can't hear you." I was in the front room, absolutely screaming for AC Milan to win a game of football, and luckily they won.
Yeah, Jay Lawler's been asking for you. Mrs. Hedge has been asking for you.
I'm sorry.
Even Mrs. Matt's even been asking for you. I think it's.
Well, evening to you all. Thank you as always. Did somebody leave the session? I got a bit of a quick glance. I don't know who. I missed it.
It was Cammy. He joined in Q. I don't know if he's joined as a late reserve in Q1, but he didn't have time to put a lap down. So I don't know if he's just retired from quali and accepted he'll be starting from the back, which might be P17 or something. I don't know how many reserves have joined late, you see, so...
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep... Sorry, I feel like I'm really unprofessional tonight. I do apologise. I'm just trying to keep up to date with the lobby now and just see... Because obviously you don't want 16, do you? You want a full lobby, really. I mean, we've been very lucky this season, but for every race up until tonight, we've had a full lobby. I'm sure you've already mentioned China last week, Matt, that ridiculous...
Yeah, mentioned it at the start, with Nathan getting that unbelievable win, yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I can't believe that was a week ago as well. Where's that gone? Where's the week gone?
Time flies when you're having fun. It's been a good week. It's been a good week since then. But it's nice to actually have a bit of rain predicted for now. It's not been often this season. We've had I can't even think. Was it Belgium quali? The last time we had surely we've had rain since then. I can't picture us having rain though, other than Belgium quali. But that was the first race of the season. Surely we've had rain since then.
I can't remember. I keep saying to you, don't I? Like I keep having to race in the rain. I was racing the bloody rain again on Monday. But yeah, we've got a wet to dry race according to Bowie. I think it was. Who let me know in the comments. So that's exciting, isn't it? Imola in the rain.
I'm just handing penalty points out for whoever's said they turn up and not turned up. That's a shot. Whoever's done that, I'm not worked it out yet. But whoever you are, you're a joke. You're an absolute joke.
Was the 20 drivers in the check-in?
A few reserves that are ticked tonight. Is there any reserves in? I'm literally trying to play catch up here. Bailiff's a reserve. I know that he's turned up in the Williams. He's replacing AFL tonight, so thank you to Bailiff for turning up. Other than that, I don't see any other reserves. So there's meant to be Chris Panda turning up to replace AJ, who's a big miss tonight for the Red Bull team. And there was another reserve. I'd have to go and check who it was, so my brain's frazzled after today. But the other reserve, I believe, was meant to be Wuban in the Ferrari, replacing Mazzles, who's also a big loss tonight for Ferrari.
Was Fandango going to reserve as well, or was that...
He mentioned that he can available, there is a spot for him, but he's obviously not seen it, which is a shame.
Yeah.
I don't mind people joining in quali. The rule is you can join in quali, but you can't set a lap, which I think is more than fair enough, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
If imagine someone joining in quali with 5 minutes to go and end up getting through. It'd be a bit unfair when you've joined late and you've... you know, you've got through, so that's the rule. I don't mind people joining in quali if they have to. Normally, we're very good in this league, and we're on time, but I can't talk about timing tonight when I miss the whole Q1, can I?
No, you can't. Not at all.
But let me know. I'm sure you can let me know. I did say to you last week, if City lost, I won't be here tonight, so... I am here. Jay Lawler set the fastest lap. Now, we always mention this, obviously we're meant to be, according to you, I think, was it a wet start to dry?
Wet to dry, yeah, so the starting tyre's going to be...
See, normally we say, don't we, here, can you get through on the mediums, but it's not going to mean anything, is it?
Yeah, I mean, if they start on the wets, but I mean, I don't know if it's going to be like an either or, like it could be, I mean, if it's raining, but they're forced to start on dries, that could be just absolutely chaos. So I don't know. Maybe they want to save a set of softs, possibly. I don't know. Unless I don't even know off the top of my head what the strategy is around Imola on a dry race. If it's one stop.
I believe you can get away with a soft medium. Now, I did this race in a two-player career with my friend the other week, and interestingly enough, we started in the wets here as well. Now, we were told full wet tyres at the start. However, after one lap, we were told to switch to winters. So, you've got to be careful on this game, because, for example, in that race, it was only a career race and there was bots in the race, it's a bit different, but we got told full wets, Matt, and after one lap, it was intermediate weather. So, just someone, obviously, we'll get a better understanding as we go into the race, but is it worth that gamble maybe? If we are on full wet tyres, is it worth starting on the meters? I'm sure we'll find out as we see what happens. But these are the sort of things you've got to think about. And of course, you haven't actually got a pit in a full wet race, have you? If it doesn't get dry at all. I know when I did Britain last week in Cone, and it rained for the full race. Didn't have to pit once. So there's a lot of factors here. Sometimes you try and get that advantage. We noticed last week, didn't we? In Russia, Nathan started on the mediums, didn't he? Sorry, on China, not Russia. Russia. Oh God, I just mentioned Russia. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That word is banned in this league. China last week, Nathan sat on the mediums, didn't he, to get that of an advantage on the rest. But of course, that won't be a factor if we are on the wets. And speaking of the Williams, Bailiff had a bit of a spin there, Matt. I don't know if you've been watching anybody. Of course, you're streaming tonight, so we need to really focus on your end a little bit more.
I didn't catch that. I was just tweaking the audio in the voice chat just to make your voice as loud as possible.
Thanks, mate. My voice is a bit gone tonight, so I'm going to try and... I don't know if you can tell, I'm a bit like... But that's what football does to you, mate. I'm sure you know, as a big football fan,
Oh, every week I come away...
Anyone who says to me, it's just a game, what a load of rubbish, by the way. It's not just a game. It's life.
Especially I come home from United with no voice whatsoever. That was just one of the best nights. Do you know, when we beat United, that was our 15th away game, and I'd never seen Borough win in 14 away games. That was the 15th game I went to away from home. I finally saw us win at the 15th, the 10th. How crazy is that?
I get lost. I don't want to make it on football, but it's a sports stream, isn't it? We do F1, but my first ever time at City, my dad took me to 7 matches. It was like an offer. Was that bad then? You had an offer for home games. Well, it was like 40 quid for like 7 games. It was ridiculous. So my dad took me to 7 home games. I didn't see one goal. So all these people that say City fans don't deserve anything, I deserve something. I had to watch Joey Barton captain us, and we got slapped for 7 games in a row, so I want to enjoy this. But again, back to the F1 before we get... We have to do a football podcast once a week, mate.
I know, yeah.
That could be a shout.
One fan of a big club.
I'm just buzzing after today, I can't lie. I want to focus on F1, but
do you know what we could title the slogan for the podcast could be? One's a fan of a big club, and the other's a fan of Man City.
I love that.
Oh.
Fair play. But you know what?
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Sorry, mate.
No, mate. You know what?
Sorry, mate.
Fair play. It's a bit of a low blow that, but I'll let you. I like you. I'll let it off.
You're having a good day. Vipers Ken, by the way. What a lap he's just said. He's the first one into 14s, I think, so far. 14-6.
Well, a disappointing qualify for Vipers Ken last week. That wasn't even in Q3. So, I was in Q. No, he wasn't in Q3. You wasn't even in Euro and didn't get through. Did this a Q3 last week?
No, they all tried getting through on the mediums, didn't they? And
who's your prediction for the poll here? There's a long way to go. I know, but all I'm going to say is Riordan's in the mix again. What has Riordan been eating?
I don't know. He's the only one who's set a lap on mediums as well. So he's feeling confident. Clearly, I'm on board with Mark Wilson at the moment. He's set a 1:18.2. Might have been a mistake in there because I'm sure he set a much quicker lap in Q1 in the Mercedes. Hopefully, he won't invalidate coming through the high speed final sector or second sector.
I'm just I'm doing some research for education. I'm not even prepared for tonight. It's a shocker from me. This.
That's bloody disgraceful. Mrs. Edge, I know Mrs. Edge is watching. You need get him sorted. That's bloody shocking. Mrs. Edge.
I do apologise. It's been a really busy weekend this weekend. I've had football coaching. I went to Oldham yesterday. I've been a football heavy weekend for me this weekend. In the space of 4 days, I've been to a Premier League ground, a Championship ground, and a League Two ground. I went to Peterborough on Tuesday to watch City. It's been a mental few days in terms of football, so I do apologise. I'm normally quite prepared for this, and I've not even got education yet, Matt. Which, I mean, you know what? You're the host tonight, Matt, so I'm going to put it on you.
No, I'm not.
Bit of,
I'm not.
no, go
I'm
on.
not.
I did say to you, I remember saying to you, I want to hear a good fact from you. I did say to you.
You can't just drop that on me
So,
on the fly.
no,
I've been prepping to get
you've
this
been here,
stream.
you've been here at the start of Q1, you're streaming for me, I'm trying to put it on you. Tell you what then, let's both get a fact each, and how about that? I think that's fair.
Right, I'll have to search for a fact.
Let's not watch us get the same one. No, fair play to you, mate. You've sunk hero. Commentator of the season at the moment, I think, for Matt this year.
Oh,
I think so.
thanks so
Very
much.
loyal, you know. You've been on the contracts longer than me technically this season. I've just missed Q1, so you got more minutes than me.
Yeah.
Matt Wilson has to spin again in that Q2. I don't know. Is there even corner names in Imola? If there are, I'll be honest with you, I'm not too familiar with them compared to Monza. But let's where Jack Priddy is now. Jack Priddy is now, Matt, around that right hand. No, a lot of people. I've seen 2 or 3 lose. I know it myself there, where you lose the car, a bit of oversteer. I don't know if you've done it yourself when racing this race, but it seems to be a corner, and even this one now that he's at that little chicane there, you can see he's lost it there, Jack Priddy.
Yeah.
And in the rain as well, it's going to be even more difficult. So, although Imola was a very fast-paced circuit, I'm quite a big fan of it. I'll be honest with you, I do like racing Imola. It's a tricky track, and you can lose the car if you're not careful.
Yeah, that uphill right, what you mentioned, is really difficult. It's easy to exceed track limits as well.
Yeah.
So you've got to be real careful. By the way, I'm going to just drop a shout out to Mark Wilson. I mean, he's in a session here with Nathan, Riordan, DC, Freefall, Jill Ola Hobbsy, and he's in the mix. He's in P4. What a lap that is from Mark, by the way. That's
I was gonna give a big shout out to my good friend KXI, who, like myself, is a massive City fan, but he's not bothered to turn up tonight. So whether he's been out because City has won, I'm not sure. But I was gonna give him a shout out, but he's let himself down tonight. There's a yellow flag for an Aston Martin. That is Ewan, who's off the track. Whether he's just letting people go past, that looks like
I think he is,
the case. Cutting the lawn. There's Freefall, who did mention to me that he's possibly going to race on the pad tonight. Now, whether he has or not, he made the transition to the wheel, like yourself, Matt, at the start of the season in Cone. And I know that he's had a bit hit. I know he races with you in Tier 4. He had a bit of hit and miss on the wheel so far, Scott. So whether he's gone on the pad tonight, he is setting decent pace. So I'm not sure if he's on the control or not, whether he's stuck with the wheel. But I know I've got the wheel myself now. I've been doing a lot of practice, and although it's really rewarding, it's a big jump, isn't it? At first we got used to it.
It is, yeah. How are you finding the wheel? You still feel like
I'll be honest with you. The mod that I've got has made things a lot easier. For me, I think I said it to you before, it's not necessarily the wheel, it's the pedals.
Yeah.
Just getting used to that sort of braking and when to accelerate and when to... Because on the control, of course, L2 and R2, and it's pretty simple stuff. You know when to brake, you know when to go. But on the pedals, it's literally like you're driving the car, isn't it? You've got to brake at the right time with the pedals. It's how hard do you press the pedals, how quickly do you go on the accelerator. I'm enjoying it, I must admit. I've done a bit of practice and I'm really, really enjoying it. I've done a couple of 5 lappers, and of course they don't mean anything, but even winning one of them against other drivers, it's a little bit more bit more rewarding. I think you said it yourself, didn't you? When you get a good result on the wheel, it's more rewarding, isn't it? Because you've worked harder for it, and it's a bit more difficult to do it.
It is absolutely. By the way, just mention Jack Priddy. We need to have a word with the safety of some of these drivers. Jack Priddy's not got a helmet on. So he's
pretty dangerous, that.
It's pretty dangerous. It's pretty terrible behaviour, isn't it?
Doing a Hobbsy in Belgium. Hobbsy were with me in Belgium, I must admit. DC retired in the pitch. Confidence from DC is third, to be fair. But yeah, Hobbsy in Belgium going up all roads with no helmet on. That was concerning. Matt, will you forgive me while I get a drink? I've not had a drink. Is that all right? I'm sorry. I feel like I'm slacking tonight, big time.
Honestly,
No driver a day for me this week.
No.
I'm back in literally 30 seconds, mate.
Shocking, absolutely shocking. Anyway, Alex Dobson crosses the line. He's went 9/10 quicker, a 1:15. 6.96, that'll put him into the top 10. So Bailiff at risk. Jack Priddy in the pit, so he's not going to be improving. He's out of Q2. Riordan looking to improve, just coming through the first sector. Let's see if anyone is on their way towards the end of the lap. Scott has just spun. I wonder if he'll have time to get around and go again. He might do. My good friend Pio currently on a lap. He's going to need an improvement of around a second. He's only 3/10 up at the moment. So we'll see if he can make up the time in the final sector. Everyone just drop a comment just to let me know that the stream's all good, the audio's all good.
Drop a like as well, don't be shy. Drop a like.
Drop a like. Just don't bother with Pio. He's going to need a second if he wants to get out of Q2. And
come on, Pio.
I don't know if he's quite got a second. We never know. We'll see what it's like when he crosses the line. Is 16-1, and it's not far off, but Not quite enough.
He's reordinate risky. He's 4 temps up. I mean, he'd be a shock, wouldn't he, Matt, if he was to go out, I'd say, in Q2, the way he's been performing this season.
It would be a shock. It certainly would. But he's squeezed through by 4. What's that, 4 thousandths? Wow.
Has Pio gone again? Has he had time? Because he's 8 temps up here. No, that can't be right, can it? Oh, I don't know. No, he's not 8 temps up. He said 8. It now says 0. Is he gone again, though?
I can't see if
Oh, he's not got a checker flag next to his name, has he? So I think he has gone again here, Pio. 3 falls invalidated. Bowie's another one. He likes leaving it late, though, Bowie. We mention this every week, don't we? Likes leaving it late, Bowie.
Oh, he does.
I don't know what it is about it, but he...
Scott's limped across the line. Is he going to push? No, I think Scott's run out of fuel. By the
No, check a flag for Jack Priddy and 3 falls. So we all know, look at the likes of Bailiff, Pio, and Bowie. Bowie's just rounded the last corner in the McLaren. His teammates already out in Q1. Where will Bowie go? But he'll get into Q3. Ooh, he's not Riordan out. Now Riordan is going again here, though, and he's 2 temps up. So Pio's retired. Oh.
That's... Well, his car's still moving, so I'm assuming he maybe made a mistake and...
It's down to Riordan then. Will he knock out the little one? Let's have a look. Alpine versus Aston Martin, Matt.
Well, he's 4 tenths up at the minute, so he's got every chance of getting himself through. Here he comes. And I think he's got himself through.
Yeah, it says P7 on his wheel, so he has got through and little one will be out.
Everyone went through on the softs, though, which I think indicates that we might have a wet start. There's no strategic.
Yeah, I do like the P11, Matt, but in the wet, it's probably not like it as
no,
much.
it's not. It's not.
I don't know if you've been through the standings or not. Obviously, I missed Q1, so I don't know if you've touched the standings.
I've done it all, mate. Don't you?
Do you know
worry.
what, mate? I won't expect any different from you.
Don't you worry. Don't you get yourself all stressed. It's fine.
It's a long day, mate.
Sorted. You know what I can do? You know what I can do, Hedge? I can even just in case you. I'll pop on screen for you. There we go.
Do you know what, mate? What about the results?
Oh, I can do that first if you really.
He don't mess about, does he?
No.
Don't mess about, does he?
There we go. The results will be imminent from China. and you can give us your recollection of last week's race if you want, Hedge, when the results pop up.
I'd love to, mate. No, I said a big statement in that last week about China. I said it's the best. You will not get a better ending to a race ever in this league.
Yeah.
Now watch him on a 4-horse race at last lap now tonight. But
love it.
I feel like it's sort of done that every week. We went to Belgium, didn't we? And went. It's going to be our top Belgium. Then went to Britain and went. Britain topped it. It's kind of been a pattern. But I mean that result in China was just. I didn't expect much from China. I think we mentioned it on stream. I didn't expect much at all. But like it was just to have 3 of them battling literally on the last corner of the race is like. Sometimes you're lucky to get 2 people doing that, but to have 3, it's just like it's unknown. Like you just don't see that.
Yeah.
Mental stuff.
It wasn't even that. It was like the last 3 laps. It was just they just kept trading positions and yeah.
I just don't think I've ever seen like. I mean, obviously with the drama at the end, Jay Lawler getting a pen, which cost him in the end. The Euro cutting the grass on pretty much the last corner, and then Nathan going for this very risky dive, which I could have easily took all 3 of them out. It was a very brave dive from Nathan, but executed it absolutely perfectly and went from 3rd to 1st in barely a corner, then won the race. It was just like it was his first ever hedge racing victory, so he joins that big list. That it's a very proud list, I'd say, of winners in the league. And I don't think it'll be the last time we see him win a race this season. I know that it's obviously so tough when you've got the likes of Euro and Vickers Ken that seem to be in the mix every week, and then you've got DC and Jay Lawler and Hobbsy and everyone else into it. But I don't think the last time we've seen Nathan win a race because he's got that pace, hasn't he, to compete. And he proved it last week because for a lot of the time last week he was stuck behind them too, but he stuck with him. You know what I mean? He didn't let him get away from him, and he kept himself with a chance, didn't he? In the end, it proved in the end when he can get in the win.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was great to see him win, especially like that towards the end. But yeah, I've got I'll pop the standings up as well. So Jerome, as I mentioned, he's on 121 points. The closest man to him is Jay Lawler on 59. That's just less than half the points that Jerome has. With Vipers Ken 3rd on 52. Obviously, we know Vipers Ken is just as quick. He's had a few mistakes. There's Jay Lawler.
Jay off the track. He's lucky. Oh, he's a very lucky man.
I was on board with him there.
I mean, his wing is off. He can go in the pits and get sorted out, but oh, he's
He's
a
got to be
lucky
careful.
boy.
Got the cars coming through. Yeah, he's
Lucky
just
boy.
got
He
himself
was
out of the
lucky
way
that
there.
the wall was a long way away. Very lucky. He's lost a full wing there though, Matt. It's going to take him a while to limp round to the pits, but a very lucky man. Now, quickly, we only ever raced once in Imola before. Of course, it's a new track, isn't it, Matt, on the game? So we've
Yes.
only ever had one previous trip to Imola. It was won by an Italian car. It was won by the Alfa Romeo. It was a reserve of Jeroen. Jeroen was a reserve last year, and he won in Imola. He's looking to make it 2 wins out of 2 in this league. He was joined on the podium by Jaime, who's no longer in this league. And KXI, funny enough, who could have been here tonight, but has missed it.
Ooh.
So,
Sorry, I just.
no, you're okay, mate.
It's like we're on the same wavelength. The second you said Alfa Romeo, I cut to an Alfa Romeo. And it was
Which
Hobbsy.
one?
Hobbsy took a chunk of turn 1 and just caught the car, otherwise he'd have been in the same place as Jay Lawler. So
I don't know. I don't like making these type of predictions. I mean, look how close that is already between the top two. But I don't like making predictions like this. I don't want anyone to DNF. I have a feeling we could see a few DNFs tonight. Not because of the driver's capabilities, but because of how tough the corners are. Obviously, I don't think we'll see DNFs in the wets, though. I think in the wets, we might be more cautious. And then when he gets to drive, we've seen how many cars we've seen in qualifying just lose it because of the pace around the corners.
Indeed, yeah, and it's a tough track going wheel to wheel. My first ever race in the CRL was here at Imola, and I went wheel to wheel with. I think I started second and went wheel to wheel with MUFC Harvey into turn 1, and we collided, and I was off at the gravel, and it's a tough track to go wheel to wheel. You've got to be so precise. One little wrong move, you've got to trust the other driver as well. Who you're going wheel to wheel with. If you're turning in, you need to trust that they're going to give you the room, and there's barely 3 cars width this track, so not only do you need to be precise with your own driving, but you need to trust that the guys that you're racing with are going to be just as precise as you.
I fully agree. 7 minutes to go in Q3. It's anyone's game. And Aston Martin again having both cars, and Nathan does go quick in again and just jump Jeroen by the skin of his teeth. Jay Lawler in the pits, of course, just coming back out of the pits after that very, very lucky scare at the start of Q3 where he could have easily been out of the session. Then he comes by Pascal, who's not set a lap just yet. He has now, and goes for again less than a 10th in it between the top 3, and that before Jay Lawler sets a lap, who I have no doubt will be in the mix as well. Who's your favourite here for pole?
Normally it's quite easy to put your money on one driver,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
Either way here.
I'm really
Either
not
way.
sure.
I think pole's massive as well, but being a wet race, you don't want to be in that mix. You want to be at the front, don't you, and get away well. You don't have any trouble.
Hobbsy's. Sorry, Hobbsy. I've just jumped to Hobbsy. He's off track. I think he's had a spin on that.
Ooh.
I think it was the chicane. Yeah. So Hobbsy, that's 2 laps where he's had a bit of a moment. So
No.
bit of pressure on Hobbsy.
I don't know what you think about this, but we did obviously Silverstone's a different track to him, but we did Silverstone in Tier 3 of Cone last week, and obviously it was a full wet race, and this is not predicted to be a full wet race, but for a lot of that race it was not, of course, and obviously with it being wet, there was no DRS. Of course, that'll be the same here. There'll be no DRS at the start if it's wet. It makes overtaking, especially on a track like Imola, there's not really, other than the main straight, not really any places you can overtake. It's going to make it to overtake here, and that pole position could be huge.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So that makes pole position even more important. Nathan currently has it, but it could be anyone. I think it could be any of the top 3. I think if Jay Luke had made it into Q3, he could have been up there as well. DC, we know he can put a really quick lap together. I think Alex Dobson's looked really quick tonight as well. Hobbsy hasn't shown his cards yet, but I think Hobbsy, as we know, is unbelievably quick. And just hasn't been able to put a clean lap together yet. So maybe I need to ask you, Hedge. You're the one who's won £200 on bets today, so maybe you're the one who's predicting all the correct results. So whoever you say is going to go on pole, I'm going to go with you.
I'm going to go with Jeroen. Maybe the safe bet. Jay Lawler might have something to say about that when he's on a lap at the moment, so keep an eye on. Oh, and AJ's joined right at the death. He's going to be starting at the back, but well, that could be interesting. I mean, he's missed quality. His brother's currently at the top. We've already seen the brothers climb once this season in Belgium. Could we see it again? I mean, it's going to take a big ass from one being at the front, one being at the back, but is it a bad thing starting at the back in a wet race? I mean, we just mentioned how difficult it is to to overtake. But on the flip side, it's easy to avoid damage starting at the back, isn't it? You know, you can just sit back at that turn one's hectic as well, Matt.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh!
Wow, what a lap from Jay Lawler. That is, that's just put...
Yeah, I'm going to change your prediction. I think you're not going to get pulled. I think it'll be Jake Lawler.
That's shook things up a little bit, hasn't it? A 1:14. That's going to make the other guys sit up and take notice. Obviously, Jay Lawler was one of the three who gave us that grandstand finish last week, so is he going to do it again?
4 minutes to Q3. It's been a bit delayed tonight, but it's some education for you.
Oh, go on.
Did you know, Matt? There's a house smack bang in the middle of the Imola circuit where a family have lived for over 60 years.
In the middle of the track?
I don't know where it is. It's apparently in the middle of the circuit. So I don't know where. I did not know that. That is mental. Imagine all the noise you get though on race day.
Oh, I'd love it.
Imagine the view though.
I know, yeah. You don't have to buy tickets.
Imagine you could rent a room in your house. You imagine how much money you'd make?
I know, yeah.
Renting rooms. However they are. I mean, I know there's like apartments and stuff on board with JLO. There's a lot of apartments there and stuff to the right, but now I do remember on the loading screen. Maybe we'll get a view of it as we go into the race. But there is some sort of house or something that I can slightly recall on the loading screen. So we'll try and get a better look at that. Maybe we'll get to see it as we go in. I do remember something. But JLO does pit now. He's gonna have time to go again. His teammate Mark on a lap as well, Matt.
He is. I mean, I'm just thinking there. Imagine how much they could sell that house for. I mean,
a lot.
Oh, Mark's invalidated. He's just invalidated coming through that very tough, quick double right-hander where it goes downhill and then it nips uphill and he's got time to go again.
Well, will we see? It was obviously it's an Italian circuit. Will we see an Italian car on pole? There's only one Ferrari tonight, of course, due to Mazel's his no-show. He did tell me, to be fair, he couldn't make it. It's not like he's not turned up. So put pressure on DC tonight. It's been a bit of a hit and miss start for Ferrari and for DC this season, but overall some impressive pace show, and of course a bit of a shame that Mazel's isn't here tonight, but DC's more than capable of getting a good result, getting on the podium. We've seen it before. I'm sure we'll see it again. He's currently sixth, not a million miles away from the likes of Alex Dobson in that P5 spot. Where's it realistic aim here for DC, Matt? I mean, can he somehow get into that top four, which at the moment looks streets ahead of the rest? I think that's fair to say, because 6/10 separating Vipers 10 from Alex Dobson. I mean, of course, there's still time to go, but it's a big step, that is. It's a big jump.
It is, yeah. They're the only ones in the 1 minute 14s. He's going to have to find a lot of time. The game says he's set in purple sector 2.
Yeah, he was 2 tenths up there, so maybe. I think if you get into the 140, you're going to be in the mix, aren't you?
I think so.
That top 3 rows easily. Let's keep an eye on DC then, Mark. He was 2 tenths up there. This last corner can be tricky. You don't want to invalidate the lap. He has took it very, very nicely there, though. Where's he going to put himself? In the one... He is. Oh, I tell you what, it's a good effort, though.
It's a cracking effort.
Good effort. Only 5 tenths separating first to fifth.
Yep, I thought he's just starting a lap.
It's the 2 Mercs then next. Mark Wilson. 5 tenths up himself here, but he has set a slower lap time for his... Certainly for his pace. I think he's got a bit more in the tank now, hasn't he, Mark?
Yeah, I've got the constructors up, and yeah, you're right. Ferrari currently 7th on 34 points. Obviously, Aston Martin, as I say, are absolutely flying. They've got double the points of anybody else. You've got Haas on 68, Mercedes on 61, Alfa Romeo just behind on 60, McLaren 58. So, Mercedes, Alfa and McLaren are all within 3 points of each other. Williams 51. And then there's a bit of a drop to Ferrari on 34, Red Bull just behind on 30, Alpine just behind on 28, and then AlphaTauri have had a stinker of a season, really. They're only on 12 points there at the bottom. And did you say, is there anyone reserving for...
There is. The only reserve tonight is Bailiff, who's in the Williams, reserving for AFL. Unfortunately, only 1 car for Williams, only 1 car for AlphaTauri, which is a shame.
So yeah, it's not good. It's not ideal for AlphaTauri, given that they're
obviously,
the championship.
I mean, we don't want that, but sometimes it's out of our control as stewards and as league owners, as Nathan just take the fastest lap back. Who's the next car to cross? I did notice as well, Matt, in the mix of all that Hobbs, he also got a 15 dead, so some good lap times here. 14.2 is quite ridiculous, so and could take some beating. Jay
Yeah,
Lawler. Oh, I
he's
didn't even
invalid.
validation for Jay Lawler, so he can't improve.
That's it for Jay Lawler, yeah. Hobbsy as well, and validation. He can't go anymore. Vipers Ken is
Where's
on a
Jay
fast
Wills
lap.
tonight? Is he in the race?
I've not seen him. I've not seen his name.
Jay Wills not turned up. Maybe was he not in Q1? No.
No.
Vipers Ken goes third. That surprised me then. I did not know that Jay Wills had not turned. I mean, obviously, I do apologise. I wasn't in Q1, so I'm just trying to play catch up myself. But Jay Wills not turning up is a strange one.
Jerron, he's up on his time as well, but is it going to be enough for pole position? Jerron, it puts himself on the front row, but still 2/10 behind Nathan, who seems like the qualifying specialist at the moment. Mark Wilson, he's not going to set a quick like that.
Looks like he's going to get back to that poles there, Nathan. As Riordan only gets ninth. Now, I think Riordan will be a little bit disappointed there for only getting ninth. Don't want to put too much pressure on him, of course, and there's some big names ahead of him, but he's looked good in terms of his pace, Riordan, this year, so I think he'll be a little bit disappointed. I've been told by obviously Jay Wills isn't here, so a little bit of a disappointment for Haas, who are normally well in the mix. Jay Wills is normally in the mix for Q3, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's a good qualifier. Yeah. Race pace can be up and down, but yeah, he's normally a very good qualifier. So, yeah, another driver that's.
So there's penalty points there for Jay Wills. Shocking behaviour.
You throw that gauntlet
We're
down.
out to 18 apparently now, though. Mate, got to do it, haven't you? Got to do no messing about.
No.
But the big slug there is Nathan once again takes pole, which is 2 points, Matt. Don't forget, a couple of championship points there for pole and 1 point for second. I mean, I've got to get excited when I see that front 4 or 5 cars, even 6 up to DC.
I hope they're all in the fight towards the end of the race, because if they all are, then that could be.
I don't want to put pressure on this race, Matt, but could we be seeing a 4-horse race, 5-horse race for the win here? Only 3 tenths separating the cars. We're starting on the wets as well. You've got 2 British and 2 Dutch in that top 4, so a little bit of a battle going on there as well. 4 different constructors. I don't even want to rule out Hobbsy and DC because they're not a million miles behind either. But we know. China was unbelievable, but surely it can't top it.
Yeah, well, it depends on the start. It's obviously a lot harder to get a good start in there. But if it's wet or inters, a couple of other guys joining as well. So Cammy and AJ will be joining, jumping in as well. So it depends if it's inters or full wets, and what tyre the game puts them on. But starting in wets is horrible anyway, isn't it? So that's something that is one of the worst things on the wheel, by the way, Hedge, is starts on the wet. And oh boy.
Starting in the wets.
It
looks like intermediates to me. Do you think? It's not like they pour it down, is it? But the track does look wet. It depends on how much rain has fell.
You see, the really annoying thing about the game this year is that it can still be really wet and it switches to dry tyres. That's what screwed me over in the cone race last week. It was still really wet, but the game told everyone to put on mediums, and because I was on the wheel, I was just like Bambi on ice. It was awful. So I've seen the game in conditions like this, opt for dry tyres. Can you imagine that? That'd be bonkers, wouldn't it?
All I want to say is let's enjoy the rain, because the next 2 races are in Saudi Arabia and Bahrain, so I'm not expecting much rain at either of them tracks, to be honest with you, in the next 2 weeks. So let's enjoy the rain tonight, because I'd be very surprised if we see any rain in Saudi Arabia or Bahrain.
I've never seen it in Saudi.
Strange things have happened.
Yeah.
He's 18 up, to be fair. Now, do bear in mind, AJ's in the Ferrari. That's only because he's joined late. AJ is, of course, a Red Bull driver, so ignore the fact he's in a Ferrari. The game's always just giving him that Ferrari car. So he will not score points for Ferrari. He will score points for Red Bull. Cammy will score points for Ferrari. That was a little bit confusing, but just effectively swap AJ and Cammy round, for the cars that they're in. Ignore that. Ignore that they're in the Ferrari and the Red Bull. That's just because the games have given that car. To be fair, Matt, we've got up to 18 drivers. It isn't too bad in the end. Not a full grid, which is a shame. First time all season without a full grid for a Grand Prix, which is a bit of a shame. But 18 is not a bad showing. Now, we are getting towards what's going on here at the front. You're Owen stopping to let Nathan back. We are getting towards the midway point of the season now, Matt. It's round 7 next week in Saudi Arabia, out of 14. So next week we're halfway through. Saudi Arabia will be a first ever league race in this league, so it'll be a new track for us next week.
I love Jeddah. Yeah, it's great.
Looking at what's left: Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Brazil, Canada, Austria, Spain, Azerbaijan, and Netherlands, the end in Netherlands. Will Jeroen have the Dutch Championship over his head in the Netherlands? That'll be interesting. We will see. But looking at what's left, some interesting circuits, some exciting circuits. I know you might think, oh, I know that Spain's not a big fan favourite and whatnot, but looking at what's left, I can see a lot of big races, Matt. And I know that there's a long way to go, but would you say that Jeroen and Aston Martin have got it in the bag in terms of the championship, or is it still too early to say that?
I'd be astonished if Jeroen didn't win the championship from here, but stranger things have happened. He's got a big lead at the moment, so yeah, I think the guys behind him need him to DNF. Maybe even DNF twice or miss a race.
I think the guys behind him are being realistic as well, aren't they? They're being realistic in the fact they know they're going to be fighting for second, which I know is tough after just 5 rounds to already be in that fight for second. But you never know. You might miss a race or two. You don't know what's going to happen, don't you, down the line? So it's important just to make sure you keep going, keep getting the points in, because you're always going to have a bad night eventually, surely. Maybe it'll be tonight.
Well,
who knows?
I'm just getting excited seeing them front 4 line up on the grid. Nathan, Jeroen, Joe Lawler and Vipers Ken, even Hobbsy and DC. I mean, it looks dry. It looks like it's stopped raining. So, I mean, they might...
It's starting to get...
They might end up jumping straight on dries at this rate, so... Here we go,
Matt. Round 6 of Season 5 here in Imola for the Italian Grand Prix. It's lights out. There we go, of course. It's a very slow start for the drivers on the intermediate. Jeroen's already having a look on Nathan on the run onto turn 1. They're going to be wheel to wheel here into turn 1. Nathan just seemed to have still got the lead as Vipers and Jay Lawler make contact with Jeroen, and Vipers has hit Jay Lawler, Matt, and lost a lot of time there.
Has he got damage? Is Hobbsy going to fancy his chances?
As well.
Jeroen's forcing Nathan all the way through the first sector. Nathan's doing so well to hold himself together, but I tell you what, Jay Lawler is right on the back of Jeroen. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how quickly these guys jump on dry tyres, because it could be soon. It's spitting, I think. But
all I'm saying is, Matt, we've seen these 3 battle last week in China until the very death. Can it happen again? And Jay Lawler looking for him on Jeroen. What a move! He was going to come back at him though. Oh, and he gets it back. And once again, we're seeing these 3 go at it. With Hobbsy not a million miles behind either. Little one up 4 places. DC's dropping a lot. What's happened to DC? Has he got damage?
He's getting absolutely swamped by a ton of cars.
But he's down 5 places.
There's a Williams off track.
That's interesting. His Vipers Ken gets past Jay Lawler. We missed that as well. What happened to Jay Lawler there? Who at one point was second. Now down to third. I think it's hard to believe. We mentioned that top 3 battling last week. Vipers Ken wasn't even in the battle, was he?
He wasn't.
That's mental when you think back-to-back champion, not even in the battle.
He's quick enough to be in the battle, though, isn't he? So, I mean, DC's in the pits.
Oh, DC is pitting that.
Must be damage. Must be damage. Jack Pretty's in as well, so both of them
look like for DC.
Yeah, there's a front wing coming out for the Alpine.
It's going to be more Inters, surely.
He is going Inters, so not worried about the track or the weather changing too soon. But, I mean, I think we'll be on dry. Not too long.
A pretty uneventful first lap. AJ up 8 places, up to 10th already on 1 lap. Of course, he's in the Ferrari, but he's representing Red Bull tonight. Obviously, AJ and his constructor will change after the race when we do the results, etc. It's only because they joined late. But up 8 places, Matt. That's a great start for AJ.
That's an incredible start. I've just seen Cammy getting past Bailiff. These two are fighting myself in the Tier 4 Championship. Bailiff, a very quick driver. Cammy, probably one of the craziest drivers I've ever seen. With how he drives, absolutely.
Is that a compliment or not?
Sometimes it is. I mean, it's good. It's fun to race against him, but terrifying at the same time. And he has got his way past Bailiff. So yeah, I'll be interested to see who comes out in that battle of the current Tier 4. My good friend Pio, he's down in P15. I don't know what's quite happened to Pio. Trying to find the fastest lap, the position change. But yeah, I think he's dropped down a couple of positions back to the front though, and I think what you said might be coming true here, Hedge. I think without DRS, I think it's hard to make it.
Try to keep up with Nathan, isn't it? And just wait as Jeroen cuts the grass there a little bit.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think you're right. With DRS, you're just trying to keep up with him, haven't you, and wait for your chance when it goes to dry. You don't want to lose too much time. Now, Jay Law does seem to have started to gain on Ken again a little bit, but has lost a bit of time. Up down one place, of course, as well. Other than that, the top five have played as they were. Hobbsy doing a good job there, and a bit of clear track, just keeping his place. His AJ goes on the inside of the yard, and he's up 9th place now. He's already cleared half the grid. And imagine Hamilton in Brazil when he just started getting past people for fun. Do you remember when he started towards the back?
He's making
He
up
just started
for
getting past people for fun in Brazil.
He's making up for the time he's missed, isn't he? All that time he missed in quad. He was sat there all along, wasn't he, AJ? He was just sat waiting, saying, you know what, I'm going to pull off a last to first. You guys watch. You know, he wasn't late. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Tactical. Oh, that could be big. You're only getting a 3-second time penalty already after 3 laps. The first driver to get a penalty, Matt. That could be a. That could be. Do you ever even mention Jay Luke? Who's another one that's normally in the mix, of course, had a poor qualifying session. Was in the mix last week until he DNF'd on track in the wall in China. There's a yellow flag. Speaking of
Pio's gone round.
There's one there. Oh, Pio. What's happening to Pio?
Oh, Matty, what you doing, man?
He's up 5 places here, and he's right on the back of Riordan, and may want to try and get past the Aston Martin here. He's getting on Riordan very quickly. As Hobbsy gets past Jay Lawler as well. And Jay Luke very nearly hits the back of Riordan. There's very close contact between the two. Jay Luke in the end did get the job done, but what's happening to Jay Lawler?
Riordan's got the up and what a move! Riordan with the up and under on Jay Luke. I caught that on stream. That was an incredible move by Riordan. Fantastic move that. Awesome.
I'll tell you something, Matt. Jay Lawler looks in a little bit of trouble here because all of a sudden he's lost out to Vipers Ken. He's lost out to Hobbsy. He's got Bowie, Little One, and Mark Wilson not too far behind him either. So I'm just wondering here. It's a little Mercedes train. This is a Mercedes at the front of the train and a Mercedes at the back of the train. But, I mean, Little One's up 4, and he's right on the back of Bowie. But spins the car, Little One, and he's going to lose a place to Mark Wilson. Bit of oversteer. We mentioned that corner in qualifying, and it's bit the Little One there. Jack Priddy off the track, a nightmare. Jack Priddy as a reserve was brilliant, Matt.
I know,
the Alpine seat, he's really struggled. And once again, he's at the back and seems to have an incident. There's Alex Dobson. Also loses the car.
Cammy, he's flung it down the inside of a chicane there. He goes for moves when he doesn't need to, Cammy. And I think he went for a move there that he probably didn't need to go for, and Alex Dobson won't be quite happy with that. Cammy can sometimes go for a move that shouldn't be there. He should sometimes be a bit more patient with how he attacks, but yeah, he's got through, and Bailiff looks like he's followed him through.
5 laps into this round 6 race of season 5, round 6 of 14 in Imola, only the second time we've been to Imola in this league, and at the moment, advantage Nathan, you're Owen not too far behind, but that could be a costly penalty, as Jay Lawler goes a little bit wide again. He's inviting more pressure from Jack Bowers. The yellow flag looks like it's wee Cammy. No, it's not wee Cammy, apologies, it's free fall. He's gone off the track there. There's a lot of time. No DNFs of yet, and your rain has stopped here, Matt, so wasn't a long stint in the wet. It's not as long as I would have hoped for, but I'd imagine the dry tyres will be coming out very, very soon, but it's a case of who bites first here, you know, who takes that risk and goes for the slick tyres before anybody else does. It's a bit like a test dummy here. As Mark Wilson's flying! Is he the quicker Mercedes? No, this is interesting.
Look at the train.
Here. But both Mercedes get pens on the same corner. What are the chances of that? But who's the quicker Mercedes here? Is it Mark Wilson? I mean, it looks like it's Mark Wilson to me at the moment.
I can't believe that. Yeah, Lawler's pace.
Team orders, maybe. Total Wolf on the mic, won't we? It's not right. This is not right, he'll be saying. But Mark Wilson looks quicker than Jay Lawler. Does Jay Lawler let him go through?
Give me your best Total Wolf impression. Go on.
I can't, mate. I've got no voice as it is. I'd be a meme on Twitter. Can't do that.
Look at this, though. Look at the train.
A lot quicker.
Look at the train from Mark Wilson or Bowie downwards. Jay Lawler, what has happened?
He's on the inside of his teammate and gets past. To be fair, Jay let him pass. But what's going on with Jay Lawler? Look at Little One and Jack Bowie, Matt. And AJ. There's 4 of them. Jay Luke's here as well. And Jay Luke makes contact with AJ and spins the car. And it's more bad luck for Jay Luke, who made such good progress. He's going to lose all that progress again now after a contact with AJ. But yeah, Jay Hall looks under more pressure here from Bowie and Little One. He could potentially soon be down to 8th, which is strange.
Yeah, I'm on board with AJ now, and the battle going on up in front of him is absolutely free falls on the softs. Scott is the first one.
Love it.
Who has decided to take the risk, but I mean, he's going to have to stop again. I was thinking mediums or hards, but Soft means that he's going to have to two-stop, so...
Is he anticipating a safety car? Next few laps, thinking I'm gonna hammer these softs, get a few good laps in. They can go to about 10 laps, I think the softs, 10, 12 laps, I believe. That may be wrong. I think that's right though. So maybe hammer the softs. Yeah, it's gonna get lapped. No, he's not gonna lap, is he? So that's Jack Pruitt that's in the pits. That's gonna get lapped. So he's also gone for the softs. So who out of the front runners bites for? It's like doing it at the back, isn't it, Matt? When you got nothing to lose. But at the front, who does it first? Now clearly not yet because he's sticking out on the inters. Now AJ's also pitting, so maybe it's the time now, Matt.
Yeah, looking at AJ as he's entering the pits, I don't think he has damage. I think a lot of the guys towards the back are making that switch.
Yeah, Cammy and J. Luke.
A couple are jumping on mediums, so AJ maybe trying to get into the end. Cammy's jumped on the softs. J. Luke mediums, although he's changing his front wing as well. So I mean, and the DRS is enabled.
Well, and I tell you what, the ones who have gone into the mediums and the softs there, they've got a bit of an upper hand. Of course, they've got to play catch up on the intermediate boys. The little one goes on the inside of Jack Bowie. They wheel to wheel here, coming down the straight. McLaren versus Alpine, not giving up these two. They're going to try and fight it to the death into the corner. And it's fair to Bowie there. He was very sensible. Just let the little one go past. They're two very clean drivers, two very respected drivers in the league. You wouldn't expect any trouble between the two of them. But yeah, clearly they're changing the point now. What do, Matt? We've seen a split so far, medium and soft, from the ones at the back. So this could be a big call in this race. You've got
to go now, I think. Ooh. But what tyre? What tyre do you choose?
Something. JLO stuck behind Mark Wilson. He's gonna get stuck in the pits.
Oh yeah, of course. Letting his teammate by might have actually, might actually hinder him.
Well, they're all pitting. JLO's not gonna go to pit, is he? If he does pit, he's gonna be stuck behind Mark.
Is it? He is pitting. The double stacking, so he's taking the hit just to get on the mediums or the softs. Oh, he's going to be
hard for Vipers, Ken.
Oh, yeah.
And J-Law is still waiting. It's going to cost him a load of time. He's still waiting. He's just going in. Now, they haven't doing his tyres yet. Oh, it's a long pit. It's a long way for
his wing
as
well.
And a new wing.
That might explain
He's still in
why.
the pits. He's only just coming out as a long pit stop. And look at this. Vipers Ken, the only one on the hards. This could get very interesting.
That might explain his lack of pace.
I don't know.
That might be why J. Lawler was slow. He might have had a chipped end plate or something. You're not really slight damage.
Yeah, of course you can't.
As Nathan and AJ and Cammy are going wheel to wheel down a straight. Bailiff's involved in that as well.
Oh, it's free fall. No wing free fall. So it's not going to be his night again by the looks of it. He's only just put the softs on as well, so that's gone out the window, hasn't he? Only one lap on them softs. He's already in the wall free fall, so no DNFs, no VSC or safety cars just yet, but could have easily had one there with free fall going into a wall as DC gets past POs in the pits.
Yeah, PO in the pit lane. The question is, I mean, I think it depends on if there's a safety car. If there isn't a safety car, then Nathan and Jerome and Hobbsy might start to struggle towards the end on them mediums, whereas Vipers Ken is just taking them hards to the end, no matter what happens. But obviously, a late safety car could, AJ! Is that on track?
Yeah. It is a safety car. Oh, in that right hand that we mentioned.
Vipers has just put the hards on as well, so maybe safety cars like this will help the medium runners get their tyres to the end. So that makes you think, has Vipers made the right decision putting on the hard tyres?
Well,
because the mediums,
I mean, JLO will be happy because he'll get him back in the mix with the ones in front of him. But AJ there, out of the race. He's the first DNF of the night, of course, in the Ferrari, but quote-unquote Red Bull, of course. He's not meant to be in the Ferrari. So it's a shame for Red Bull, who've also got free fall at the back. So Red Bull not having a good... I mean, when I looked at Red Bull getting at the start of the season and saw free fall on AJ, I thought they'd absolutely fly, of course. Scott has made the transition to the wheel a little bit. I know that AJ's turned some assists off, which is understandable, but they're struggling, the two of them, so far, and unfortunately for AJ, his race is over. But Riordan's pitted again for mediums, but Vipers stays on the hard. So, I mean, you've got a split of soft and mediums here and a hard runner. So...
Scott,
who does it favour?
I'm on board with Scott, and obviously he's been lapped and he's trying to unlap himself, but obviously there's that horrible glitch where it puts you in a queue in the safety car train, and Scott can't unlap himself. He keeps trying to pass the safety car.
Is he going to be the safety car leader then on the restart?
Well, he's jumped past Vipers Ken, Jerome and Nathan, but
he's done it. He's done it. He's got past them.
He's ghosted.
I've been DSQ'd. Yeah. So both Red Bulls have gone. In 8 laps, they're both out.
He tried.
Oh,
He
Scotty
tried
boy.
to. It's that horrible glitch. He tried to unlap himself, and it's the game. It's stupid that the game doesn't give you the option to pass the safety car and come back round and join the train like it does in real life.
Oh, that's a shame. It's a shame for him to
So
go like
he wouldn't. He'd never have unlapped himself, Scott. That's the thing. So yeah, he might as well have disqualified himself because unless something freakish happened, he'd have to overtake all the leaders and somehow be so quick that he gets right back around and joins the back of the train again, and it would just never happen. So that's really unlucky. Codemasters doing
Well,
their thing.
Technically speaking, 2 DNFs, 2 Red Bulls. I know that AJ's showing us a Ferrari, but of course he's in the Red Bull, so not a good night for Red Bull here, Matt.
No, Jay Lawler's in again. What's happened there? Has he decided to change tyres, Jay Lawler? He's gone on softs. So Jay Lawler changing his strategy. Could have took their mediums to the end, maybe. But he's decided that he wants to just push on the softs and go for a 2-stop.
I honestly can't pick a winner here because I'm seeing softs, mediums and hards. I'm seeing penalties that are starting to appear as well. I mean, it could go to anybody. I mean, if you're Hobbsy as well on mediums, no penalties, doing a very good job there. Little one the same. I mean, Jack Bowie will be hoping to set some good time on them softs. Matt Wilson, albeit with penalties, doing a very good job himself. I just think that your own penalty could be huge. I know there's still a long way to go and more penalties will come, but he don't get penalties your own very often, does he? I think that could be a really big... If you're Nathan and you're leading the race here and you're seeing 3 seconds of penalties on your own, it's a big advantage, that. And Vipers can on the hard, they'll go the distance, but will they be quick enough? And there's a lot of factors here, if puts and maybes, that... I mean, I couldn't pick a winner at this stage, I'll be honest with you, I don't have a clue.
Yeah, I'm surprised Jerome got 3 pens. Well, got his first pen on lap 3. So he could be under a bit of pressure if he starts exceeding track limits again towards the end of the race because he might get another one. But Vipers can obviously he's put the hards on, maybe hoping that a safety car doesn't come out because the safety car just helps these guys on the mediums just let their tyres breathe, let them calm them down and helps them go them extra few laps and maybe get to the end of the race. So Vipers can maybe could be at a disadvantage if there is another safety car. So yeah, I think Nathan, he's in control, he's on the right tyre, he's not got pens, so I fancy Nathan at the moment.
He's your pick for the win, though. I mean, to be fair, I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I think he's a safe bet, isn't he?
I think he is, yeah, and he showed how good he was last week towards the end of the Chinese Grand Prix. So we might have another showdown.
Indeed.
Yeah, we might be, but Jay Lawler probably won't be because he's in the pits again. And he's changed tyres again. He went from mediums, he put a pair of softs on, and now he's went back in and put a pair of mediums on again. So
but he's put the old mediums back on. So is he drunk?
As the
There's
game,
a possibility with Jake, to be fair, he might be drunk. He just like a drink
as the
like
game,
himself. So I don't know. I mean, I may say that race I mentioned before in Imola. I didn't tell you what happened in that race before because I pitted myself under a safety car, and I pitted for the softs. Everything was fine. As I exited the pit box, my car automatically drove into a wall, and continued to do it as I come out of the pits. It took me 4 minutes to come out of the pits.
Wow.
It was mental. So I mean, we know how many glitches are on this game, don't we? So I'm hoping that he's not been. I mean, there's a possibility. Obviously, we can't do anything about that. There's been a glitch. I hope not for his sake. But who knows? Who knows what's happened there?
Yeah, I think the game can put you on a different tyre to the one selected quite a lot. I've seen it happen a few times. So I think it's put him on softs, and he didn't want to go on softs. I don't know why he pitted anyway. It might be for a new front wing. I'd love to know where he chipped his front wing actually, because we saw, didn't we? First couple of laps, he just started dropping off. So yeah, we'll see. But safety car's in. We know how good Jerome is off safety car restarts. And will Hobbsy fancy getting Vipers Ken on the hards? Obviously, it'd be harder to warm them tyres up. I mean, imagine if Jerome can get the lead off this restart. We know what he did it last week around China. He's good at building a gap.
Yeah.
So he could do it again. Obviously, he went off track last week, which brought the others back into it. But if he can get past Nathan, Jerome can pull a gap if he wants to. So this could be a big restart for the race winner, whoever they might end up being.
Well, let's find out. Here we go then for lap number 12 of round 6 of season 5 here in Italy, in Imola, and
Look at
Nathan is your race leader. There's a big gap behind. There's a big fight behind him. Look at Matt Wilson, Hobbsy and your Owen
look at the
are
front
falling on the run
four.
down to turn one, and they all, to be fair, avoid each other, which looked impossible at one point. A little one wanting to get involved as well. You've got hards, mediums, and softs here all together in this top 5, which is mental. As Bailiff makes contact with Weekami, the 2 reserves, making contact, and Bailiff, unfortunately, off track as Matt Wilson's flat. Where's Matt Wilson come from?
I don't know what he's doing.
He's up to 4th, he's flying. He's now got Viper's Ken in front of him, but he's just gone past Hobbsy like he wasn't even there. Matt Wilson, who's never had a top 5 finish in the history of this league, I don't believe. Apologies if that's wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Maybe tonight could be his night. Could we see Matt Wilson on the podium? I mean, strange things has happened, Matt. Who knows? Why not? Why not?
Well,
he's doing a good job at the moment.
He's going to have to pit again, isn't he? But, I mean, he's given us some entertaining here. Mark's always one for the alternative strategy, and sometimes it works out for him. So, look at Mark. He's scrapping it out with the likes of Vipers, Kane and Hobbsy, and this is fantastic to see.
Of course, no DRS just yet, but it'll be enabled in the next lap or so, and the gaps, of course, are quite small. As Little One is flying down the straight, and I think he looks to try and fly past the Alpha male of Hobbsy here. The wheel-to-wheel going out so he has got the inside line. Who breaks first out of the 2 of them? And Little One, to be fair, makes a very nice move there. Does have to cut the corner though, and that could cost him the place here. Hobbsy trying to get the place back on his yellow flag on track. Looks like it's Alex Dobson, who got back-to-back driver of the days and was second in the championship for a little bit, Matt, at the start of the season. Not had a good couple of weeks since then, but he's down in 15th. But we know Alex Dobson's got a bit of pace about him, and he definitely can get a good result.
Yeah, I put him in the same bracket as Jack Priddy. You know, they started unbelievably well. As Cammy once again, look at the
wide here.
Look at the battle. Jay Luke's coming in on this as well. I mean, I think Riordan's...
Oh, Mark's got 2 penalties now. That could cost him, though.
Look at the battle from 6 to 10.
What an exit by Weekami. That was superb, and he's going to try and get Hobbsy here. He breaks late on Hobbsy and gets Hobbsy. What a move by Weekami as Pio retires on track, and there's another safety car
he's in the wall.
Oh, Pio.
Up the hill.
Pio.
In the wall. Pio, what you doing?
I mean, Weekami, that was unreal. I can see why he's leading tier 4 in moves like that. But for my crown anyway, Weekami, I got to get it in there, and I got to get it in there. But I can see why he's up there, because that was a great move on Hobbsy, and I saw a Little One then duke the pits then, trying to trick people into thinking he was pitting, but he's not pitting, he's staying out. Weekami on the softs, staying out, but a lot of pit stops.
McLaren's double stacking
straight away.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Weekami, he's aggressive, and sometimes it works for him because he can pull off some incredible moves, and sometimes it's a step too far and he'll wipe someone out. But that move on Hobbsy, I caught it on the stream, was incredible move. But again, I'll stress this again, Vipers Ken went on the hard tyres, thinking that the mediums might not go to the end. They're going to get to the end now with these safety cars. So Vipers Ken's just got to hang in there and hope that the mediums drop off at some point. Cammy's up to 5th, by the way, on the soft still. I mean, they're not getting to the end, but I'll use the word disrupt. He could disrupt the front of this, the top end pack of this race.
Well, Cammy is representing Ferrari tonight, of course, in place of Mazzles. Ignore the Red Bull that he's in, that'll be changed after the race. So, Ferrari, both in the top 8, both without penalties as well, which can't be said for a few drivers. And the penalties, I have no doubt, will start to rack up as the racing intensifies, as the battles intensify on track. I know that when we did Imola last year in Kona, I have fond memories of Imola. A late safety car there brought us all together, Matt.
It did.
It's like a little sprint finish between about 10 of us in the end. And I know that penalties played a massive part there. You got one, didn't you, on the last lap, which cost you a podium and gave me the podium on that night. Thanks for the podium, mate. That was much appreciated.
I wanted to I wanted to bed myself into Aston Martin by giving my teammate a podium, you know.
However, I didn't get the interview that night because I had a penalty removing, so I had to wait for the interview. I didn't get the interview in the end, but I did get the podium. So I have seen, and you've seen firsthand, that penalties can play a massive part in every race, of course, but especially on a track like this where they're quite common. Penalties are quite common on a track like Imola. You can see already 5 drivers have got one. I know that Pierre had one as well before he DNF'd, so a handful of drivers have got a penalty or 2. Matt Russell's got 2, which could really cost. Shame for Mark because he set good pace tonight and could still get a good result, but Them penalties you feel could really cost him. Where's that rain gone? We've got clear sunshine here now. Where's that rain gone?
I know, yeah.
Mental weather.
Get the sun lounges out, I think.
Have you played Gran Turismo yet, by the way? I meant to ask you. You play the new Gran Turismo?
Mate, I can't get off it. I forgot.
Well,
I forgot I had a race. I have a race tomorrow night in Corn. I've not been on F1 all week.
Well, you know what? I couldn't afford it, but Bet365 pays Gran Turismo today,
Oh,
so...
I love that.
Phil Foden, Riyad Mahrez, Kevin De Bruyne, you absolutely sexy. I nearly swore then. I won't swear. Love you all, because you've chipped into that winning, so, my boys, if you're watching Phil Foden, if you're watching Kevin, watching Riyad, and this, why not, why not sit at home, chill out, watch them. What else would Kevin De Bruyne be doing on a Sunday night, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so if he's here, big up Kev. And big up AC Milan, who I cheered for, like, I supported them before, it was mental. I was even calling him my team, it was mental. My dad was like, what are you doing? But yeah, I was proper, like, cheering every pass, every shot for AC Milan before, so, AC Milan, Giroud scored the winner, so, Olivier Giroud, if you're watching, mate, thank you very much. I think we get it in French room, can't we? See,
Yeah, sure. Of course can.
Why not? Why not? But yeah, it's been a good day, and this race is living up to expectations so far. Is Nathan still your favourite?
If he gets away from this safety car restart, yes. What I will say though, Hedge, use the wheel for Gran Turismo. It's a lot easier.
Oh, I will.
It's a lot easier
Well,
at the start, obviously,
was,
with slower cars and that. It's a lot easier with the wheel.
I was going to say, if I use the wheel straight away, don't I? I'm used to it rather than going on the control and then having to adapt. I'm just used to it straight away, aren't I?
Yeah.
That's the plan. I'll jump on it with you at some point, definitely. I'm looking forward to playing that as the week progresses. But we are underway for the second safety car restart. Nathan, who won his first ever Hedge Racing League race last week, looking to make it 2 in a row. Things do come in threes normally, so maybe he'll win next week as well.
Vipers Ken defending from middle one. Cammy trying to go around the outside. Oh my word, he's made it up to P4 as well. Round the outside of the little one who's trying to get back at him. Cammy moving a little bit on the racing line. Rion's retired.
Aston Martin, the constructors' leaders on a bit of a mare there. Riordan's out of the race.
J. Luke was off track as well, so was there a collision there?
Hobbsy wheel to wheel as well. J. Lord gets past Hobbsy. It's all going off here. Imola's turning out to be another brilliant race, but Riordan, that's a big DNF for himself. Aston Martin have got a big lead at the top, but that will not help them out as we Cammy gets a pen. It's a commentator's curse for Cammy. Do you remember back in Belgium when we Cammy was on for pole at one point?
Oh, he almost lost the car. Little one almost hits the back.
J. Lord's going to get 2 of them. J. Lord's going to get 2 price of 1 now because of that. He is as well.
Little one's lining the switch back on Cammy, whose softs might be a little bit hot.
My voice in the mother can't even speak.
He's using the DRS. Is he going to try and dive down Cammy? And the penultimate corner he is.
Oh, what a move. We'll see some brilliant moves
Cammy's
tonight.
trying to send it
back.
back.
That wasn't on. Obviously in the mix now as well, though. Obviously trying to get past them both on the straight. He gets past Cammy. Can he get past Little One as well? Here comes DC.
Mark Wilson's
Here comes
got
Matt
past
Wilson.
Cammy as well.
There's 5 of them in a row going down the main straight. This is unreal. Absolutely unreal. And Matt Wilson is flying again here.
He's got past Hobbsy. Oh my word.
Here comes look at the train behind DC. Bowie, Alex, Jack Priddy's got himself back in the mix. So's Bailiff. J. Luke's pitting again. It's not been his night so far, has it? After he definitely trying to little one off the track there.
Yeah.
What is going on? It's mental stuff. Absolutely mental. It's Hobbsy, Cammy, and Little One now going to trade. I can't keep up. This is craziness. What a race in Imola, around 6 of season 5.
Cammy's gone round the outside of the little one as well, which brings Hobbsy back into play. Look at it.
Oh, no.
Oh god, it's the double right-hander. Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh god, oh god, oh god, contact.
Oh. And DC gets past Hobbsy, who's missed out there. DC's thinking, you know what, I want to get in the mix here. And with no pens, he's not in a bad position at all. DC is Cammy, and Little One made more contact. A penalty for Little One. DC's got past them both now. Oh, so he's got to come past Cammy. I can't keep up. This is mental. DC going to try and get past Cammy. Here comes Little One and DC. What is going on? What is going on? DS is back on just to make things a little bit more spicy. Little One's penalty was very, very harsh then, though. I think that could be something that he maybe submits because that was a very unfair penalty from what I've seen there of Little One. And DC looking to get past Cammy. Both Ferraris, technically, of course, with Cammy representing Ferrari. There's Little One and Cammy again, that's it. Oh, look at Hobbsy as well.
Oh,
Cammy's out of the race. What is going on here? And it's another Imola's doing it to us again. It's happening again. It's happening again. These races just keep up doing themselves every week.
That was a breathless
And we,
fight.
Cammy, who've done all that hard work, is now out of the race.
Oh, he was fighting for his
and
life.
after all that, Nathan still leads.
He does. The front
And
three.
Do you pick now for softs? I think that could be doable, you know. I really think it's doable, you know. I really do.
Look at Jay Lawler. He's made his way back up to 4th.
Matt Wilson's in 5th, and he's got penalties, but Mercedes are having a banger here. It's getting to the point, Matt, where if you finish the race, you might get a point. I mean, we saw him. The record for that season was, I believe, in Belgium, and there was somewhere else, maybe Singapore, where we had 10 DNFs.
Yeah, you might be right. Yeah,
I mean, there's 40 laps to go yet. Could we top that? I mean, the way it's going.
Oh, the front
there's
three
a
are
good
all
chance
in.
we could top it. The front 4 are all in.
Are they
Mark's
going for the
staying out.
softs?
DC's pitting.
Yeah, Mark.
Little one's pitting. Hobbs is pitting. They're all pitting apart from Mark. Baylor's staying out.
Soft tyres are out. The soft tyres are out. This is it. Oh my word.
Well, the top 3, Mark, Bowie and Baylor, for not pitting. They're sticking on mediums.
They might get in the way of the leaders. They're going to have some very quick cars coming up there.
I tell you what, other than that, it looks like softs all around for the rest, which is very exciting. Is it softs all around? Can Jack Pretty confirm that for us?
Yep.
It is softs all around for the remaining 10. This could get very tasty very quickly here, because that top 3 have to defend for their lives.
All I'm saying,
way to go.
I'm on board with Bailiff, and I'm looking in my mirror, and he's going to see Nathan, Jerome, Vipers Ken, and Jay Lawler all on softs. God help Bailiff, that's all I'm saying. Oh my word.
Wow. Well, interestingly enough, Bailiff's a Williams. Nathan behind him's a Williams.
Good
so
shout.
Bailiff, of course, is only a reserve for Williams. He's not a permanent driver, so that could play a part. But if you're Nathan here, I think you're thinking, do you know what? Bailiff, do us a favour here. Let me get past you, and then you defend for your life. But Bailiff is only a reserve, Matt, so he's got no sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? He's not Williams driver, is he? So, you know, he's got no sort of respect. What's the word? I don't know what word is I'm looking for. Reason for Williams, yeah. Because next he could reserve in a Mercedes, you know what I mean? There's no sort of loyalty to Williams. You know, he's racing for himself. Of course, you know, if he gets points Williams, that's great, and he'll respect Williams, I'm sure, while driving for them, but he's not Nathan's teammate. He's a reserve driver, and next week he could be in a Mercedes, for example. So,
he's racing
if it
for
was
himself,
AFL in front of Nathan, a little bit different, because they're both full-time Williams drivers. They're a team.
Exactly.
Of course, they're a team tonight, aren't they? But you know, Bailiff's not a Williams driver, so does he race for himself? Does he let Nathan pass? I mean, I don't know.
You've got to race for yourself, but I mean, if he costs Nathan with an incident, I mean, it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, I think it's going to be very difficult for the front 3. Obviously, they've got track position, which is, you know, quite important around a track like Imola. The likes of Nathan Jones and Vipers and Jay Lawler, DC. I mean, look at that. All the way from Nathan down to Hobbsy, even the little one. I mean, they're so quick, but they're going to have to pick their moves very, very carefully, because, you know, Imola's not a place where there's 4 or 5 easy overtaking. You know, you've got to be patient. You've got to follow the other car closely, probably wait for the final corner, and then get him on the DRS. So it might not be as straightforward as we might think here with, you know, the top of the championship guys on softs, and you know, this could be interesting. This could really be chaos at the start.
It's certainly not an easy track to overtake on that. It's a bit like Hungary, this track. It reminds me a lot like Hungary. You know, the main straight is good for overtaking, but other than that, it's a very technical circuit, plenty of fast-paced corners, but not an easy track to overtake on. So I think you're spot on. You know, I don't think this is as easy as what we're making out here. They have got if there was 3 or 4 laps to go, I'd back Bowie. But with 12 laps, it's a long, long time to have to defend. Of course, when DRS comes out and whatnot. I mean, this is the 3rd safety car. The first 2 were led by Nathan. This one's going to be led by Mark Wilson for the first time this season. Siri, shut up! Sorry, Siri decided to talk to me then. It's the first time all season that Mark Wilson's had a safety car restart. So, you know, it is pace here, and he's on the mediums. He'll know he has to defend for his life here. And you know, this could be an interesting restart. Is he going to wait? I mean, I hope he makes as much as them all, personally. That's what I want to see as a commentator. But you can see already he's not in a rush here, Matt. He's not in a rush at all. So it could be interesting.
In Corn Racing League terms, we've got someone in Tier 3 leading someone from Tier 2, leading someone from Tier 4, leading someone from Tier 1. This could be
Love it.
bonkers.
Well, Mark's gone. He's caught Bowie off guard there.
Nathan
it's a good reset. I tell you what, it's a good restart from Mark. That.
Nathan's got Bailiff. Where's Jerome?
Bailiff's going to come back at him, though.
Jerome's in the pits.
Team orders at Williams.
Jerome's in the pits.
He's retired.
What?
Jerome
has retired.
So our chap, well, we mentioned, didn't we? He's our championship leader. But you can have a bad night at some point. And there you have it. I don't know what's happened there to make him retire. But Aston Martin, who are the constructors' leaders by a mile, are getting nothing tonight. They're both out. I have no... That's massive. That is huge.
Wow. What?
And now, you've got a chance here. If you're Vipers Ken, a Jay Law or a Nathan, you've got a chance. Albeit only a small gap, but a chance to close that gap a little bit to your own.
They won't believe their luck, will they? Mark Wilson, Bowie's right up. Look at the front three. Oh, my word. Mark is holding his own. He's left the session.
Has he got damage under the safety car and thought, you know what, screw this, I'm not carrying on? I don't know. That's a strange one. But we have lost your Owen. And, well, we're getting close to that 10 DNF record to equal it. Maybe down to 9, who knows? But that's a strange one, a real strange one, that. And a big twist in the tail, for sure.
Look at the front three. Nathan is flying. He's on the back of Bowie. Mark's actually been able to maintain a lead. Hobbsy!
He's gone! And Jay Lawler! It's a double crash in the same spot! Oh my god!
Wow, we're down to 10.
And we're down to 10. Jay Luke's pit at the end. There's no safety car though.
That is a surprise. What's happened there? They've both put each other in.
Jay Lawler's just put in the chat, Hobbsy, I am sorry. So it's clearly an incident caused by the Mercedes, but this, I mean, there's 10 laps to go here, Matt. We're only one DNF away from
Nathan sent it round the outside, and the VSC has come out. Nathan just got past Bowie.
It's all going off in Imola.
Cannot keep up with this.
Are we going to have left for a podium interview after the race at this rate or not? This is crazy. I mean, I thought 10 DNFs in Belgium was a lot. There's 10 to go here. There's 10 laps to go here. We've lost 8 drivers. I mean, we're nearly down to single figures.
And three who I'd have in for the win: Jerome, Hobbsy, and Jay Lawler. All gone. I mean, you could have some surprise podiums.
We were saying about closing the gap on your own. Well, maybe not for them two now. I mean, this is huge for Nathan though. His championship contenders are all out. I mean, Vipers Ken as well. We are back racing after the VSC. Matt Wilson is still leading the race, but we're down to 10 drivers. It's anyone's game here, but it is all going off.
I know, Jay Lawler. What a chance to catch up some points on Jerome. He might not get a better chance. And it sounds like, you know, he has said sorry to Hobbsy, so it might have just been a wheel to wheel. I don't know what that's. What a chance for Nathan, though. This is, as Vipers Ken's flying, by the way. Absolutely flying.
He's right on the back of Bowie. DC right on the back of. Oh, and Bowie has a bit of a spin there, and Vipers Ken going to try and get him and making pretty light work of it at the end and getting past him, and now trying to hunt down Nathan. It's I'd say, I don't want to make predictions of everything's gone, but it's a 2-horse race for me now for the win here between Nathan and Ken, because all the other ones that were up there are out the race.
Yeah, unless DC can get past Bowie and Bailiff, but it's going to be difficult for them. But Mark Wilson,
the problem you've got here, if you're Nathan, is you're stuck behind Mark Wilson. That's getting Vipers Ken. Look how close Ken is now to Nathan. He's reeling him in very, very quickly here because Nathan's stuck behind Mark. Nathan needs to get past Mark ASAP.
He's within that DRS of Nathan, so he's in the train now. So
Vipers Ken's always win DRS range over Nathan.
Yeah.
Oh, so is that what you meant? Is that what you meant? Sorry.
He's in the train. So
I meant Nathan. Yes, and Mark. So they're both going to get it, aren't they?
I think the battle might be up for Mark, but he's put up a great fight.
Ken's saying fastest laps here though. Oh, it's going to be close. I mean, he gets past him. DC gets past Bailey, so DC not out of the running yet for a podium. That'd be a great result for him. But now it's Ken's turn to follow Mark Wilson. He's going to try and get past him here. This could be a big move in the race. Oh, Matt's
no!
His contact.
No!
Oh, dear me.
Oh, and Little One's off as well. Little One's in the gravel. I don't know what's happened there. I don't know if he was distracted or contacted himself. He's into the gravel as well.
All I'm going to say is, do not rule out DC yet from this race. it could still be a 3-horse race for the winner. He's not far behind Nathan and Viper Skin at all. He just needs to clear Bowie, and he's on the hunt then.
Bowie's just had a bad exit there
the
as
better
well.
for DC.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about J. Luke at all. So J. Luke's been nowhere near. He's going to get points here, J. Luke. I mean, he's miles behind the pack. He's going to get himself a point at least, though, tonight. And fair play to him for carrying on going after a difficult race and still potentially bringing something home for McLaren. I mean, points are huge. You look at the constructors' leaders, Aston Martin, are getting nothing tonight as well. So, chance to close the gap a little bit, isn't it?
There is indeed. We could be about to see DC on the podium as he's going down the inside of Bowie. And Bowie knows, I think, that there's just no chance of battling there as Alex Dobson gets past Bailiff. Little one jumps Mark, who's in the pit lane. He's going on soft, so hoping for a safety car, I'm going to imagine.
I'll tell you something, Matt. We're mentioning Jack Priddy having a tough time. He's on for a P5 here. All of a sudden.
Yeah,
no penalties.
He's had a clean race.
He's back behind Alex Dobson and Bailiff, and they've got penalties. So at the moment, and with Jack Bowie not too far ahead on the mediums, could Jack Priddy be on for a fourth here? It's not out of the question at all for Jack Bowie to get fourth from 10th on the grid. So we mentioned having a tough time in the Alpine, but at the moment, on for a good result at the moment, Jack Priddy here.
He is, and to be fair, all it takes is another incident out front. It could turn into a podium quite easily. Safety cars as well. I mean, there's still 7 laps to go, so Jack Priddy just needs to keep this a clean race. He's in a great position. He's trying to get past Bailiff. He's not had the greatest chicane there. He allowed Bailiff to get away from him a little bit, but yeah, another incident out front, and he could be on for a podium. Mrs. Mark's in the chat. She's just said Mark has such bad luck on this game. He was doing so well, wasn't he?
He
well.
Was. Good effort tonight from Mark.
First sector.
Very good effort.
Cracking effort from Mark.
As Jack Priddy looking to clear the first of the pack to get into that top 4. It's going to be Bailiff in the Williams. Not going to be an easy task here, though, for Jack at all. On the inside, I think he's going to get the job done, though. Bailiff's going to try and fight it back, though, and keep ahead of him, which is not going to do any favours here. He'll need to try and clear.
Oh, no, Jack, no!
Oh! I don't believe it. Commentator's curse.
Oh, my word, I caught that on stream. I can't believe it.
Yes. So, if this goes into a safety car, this could be huge. Oh, is it going to go into a safety car? I was hoping it would do. Have we had the maximum safety cars? Maybe.
There's not many cars in and around it. I think his car's already disappeared off track.
Heartbreak. Heartbreak for Jack. What about him getting a really good result?
We've cursed him. I think Mark's jumped in the pits hoping for a... Well, he's hoping for a safety car. Mark's put mediums on.
Well...
Is that a glitch? Is that the game glitching again?
I'm not too sure. We did mention the DNF record this season was 10 in Belgium. But of course we had a full grid that night, only 18 tonight. Technically speaking, we've only lost 9. I say only, it's quite a lot still, of course. We're only down to 9 drivers left, so... but a real shame for Jack Priddy, who did such a good job tonight in getting back into the race after a difficult time of it, and then on for a P4 there, definitely on for a P4. I'm sure Bowie will take a P4 in the circumstances. Mediums will start to get a little bit better now, as the softs start to deteriorate, so Bowie not in a bad spot at all here. When you look at penalties, all of a sudden, I mean, J-Luke's got a big gap, hasn't he? I was going to say in the mix, but he's not in the mix at all, really, is he?
He needed a safety car, didn't he? I think
the moment, in terms of standings, nothing's really going to change here, is it? I mean, Little One might jump the 2 ahead of him if he gets closer to them, but at the moment he's got as it stands, nothing's going to change in terms of result.
No, I don't think it will. I think the game's glitched. I think maybe Mark's run out of soft tyres and that's why the game's put him on mediums. His softs were not that good. Not going to last, he said. So maybe he only had mediums left. But yeah, Mark's now got one hell of a task on with their mediums all the way at the back. He just needs to bring it home now, Mark. Just bring it home. Still got some points. Closest battle on track currently is Alex Dobson on Bowie. You mentioned Bowie battling for 4th place. I wonder what the penalties are like at the moment. So Alex Dobson's got 6 seconds, Bailiff 6 seconds. So even if Bowie gets overtaken, they need to jump him by 6 seconds. So Bowie can just take this easy, and he's still got a good chance of a P4 because Alex Dobson's on 6, Bailiff's on 6, Little One's on 3, and Mark's on 6. So, it's Alex on almost.
Vipers Ken breathing down the neck of Nathan, but not currently in DRS range. We saw Nathan win the race on the last lap last week. Could he lose the race on the last lap tonight? Is every possibility that could happen. We could see another last lap battle here for the win. DC a little bit too far behind, I would imagine. But we said last week about Nathan, and he ended up winning. So who knows? But I think at the moment, if it's a fair shout to say we're in a two-horse race here for the win as they both pull away from DC. He's around about that 1.4, 1.5 second range from Nathan constantly. So not enough at the moment to be in that DRS range. But I do fancy Vipers at the moment for this race, but I think he looks a little bit quicker than Nathan, of course. Has he got fastest lap as well? I think he did have. No, Nathan's got fastest lap actually. I do apologise. So, I mean, it's going to go down to the wire again this match like last week.
Yeah, but we mentioned the fact that Jay Lawler could take advantage of Jerome retiring, and obviously retiring himself. But Vipers Ken is in third on 52 points, so Vipers Ken could be the one who's going to capitalise the most. And you just think if he hadn't have had the one or two mistakes that we've seen him have in the last couple of races, Vipers Ken could be right up there. So he, a win here today could give him a glimmer of hope.
The gap's still about the same, though, isn't it? It's not really closing, and you're running out of time here, Ken. Now, so could we see a last lap battle? Imagine another last lap battle for the win. I mean, the difference between here and China is there's probably a bit. I'd say it's fair to say. I mean, China's not a great track for overtaking either. But probably a little bit easier than this. This is not, in my opinion, other than I know you can make moves and you can lunge for moves, but other than the straight, it's not easy, is it at all, to make moves here? I mean, he's just out of DRS range. That's the big factor here. Can he creep into it? If he creeps into it, he's got a long straight to get a move on Nathan. But if he doesn't get into it, I think he's in trouble here. This is going to be a massive end to race. DC has dropped, but to be fair to DC, keeps it clean. He's getting the podium there, isn't he? Easily. So he'll take that. I'd be really happy with that. But I mean, Ken again, not a great exit there. He's lost more time, so you start to wonder now as we creep into the last 3 laps. The gap's still the same, 1.2 seconds, not changed at all really since for the last couple of laps at least. So, I mean, it'll suit Nathan down to the ground this night. You look at the battery, both use similar battery, but at the moment Nathan's a favourite.
He is. He's using a bit of his battery. They're only 3% left. But Vipers has only got 6% himself, so if Vipers had a ton of battery, he could put in a really quick qualifying kind of lap to breach the gap, but I don't think he can with what he's got. He
seems to gain time, doesn't he, in Sector 1 and Sector 2, and then lose it in Sector 3 from what I've seen. You can see again, he's starting to reel Nathan in. He's gained a 10th on him through that first sector, but I don't know, it feels like when he goes into Sector 3, you can see now, down to 1.1. He is gaining time through the first sector, but then as the lap progresses, Nathan seems to be a bit more better at keeping the car on the track. So, see again now down to a second. But this next couple of corners seems to be, for me, where I've seen Ken lose the time. This one here, now this left-hander really seems to lose the time. And again, the case.
Took to 1.4.
Losing a couple of attempts.
Yeah.
So, first couple of sectors, I think Ken has the advantage, but then the last sector, Nathan seems a little bit quicker. And again, only 2 laps to go now, and the gap's still the same. He's not doing enough here, Ken, to get the win.
You've got to credit Nathan, though. I mean, he's holding it together, isn't it? He's holding it together brilliantly. Viper's obviously a very quick driver, breathing down his neck. Nathan knows one mistake could be it, and if anything, he's got the gap out to 1.5. So Vipers needs to get within DRS on this lap. He's going to have the straight on the final lap, and that's it. So if he's not within a second, very, very soon, I think Nathan's just done enough. But what a drive for him. I mean, to be fair, I think Nathan deserves to win the race. Obviously started on pole. He's been out front for most of the race. I think he deserves it. It would be heartbreaking if he did lose it on the final lap, but unless he makes a big mistake here, I can't see Vipers Ken getting close enough.
Advantage Nathan, who won his first ever league race in this league last week. Can he go back to back? Well, he's getting very close to doing so. And maybe just giving your own something to think about in the championship. Your own getting no points tonight. Nathan on for back-to-back wins. And he's also going to get DRS off Mark Wilson here on the straight. Oh, I tell you what! Is Vipers Ken going to get DRS off Mark Wilson on the straight?
He's got to.
Ooh,
He's got to.
I'll tell you something. Mark Wilson could play a massive part in this race. We saw last lap drama in China, surely not again. He is going to get DRS. Oh my God. This is huge. Mark Wilson could be, I mean, the gap is still big. But, I mean, it's a big gap still, isn't it? You look at the gap. Oh, I don't know.
It's coming down.
On him a lot. Oh, you just wonder a little. We saw you Owen, didn't we? Make a little slip which cost him. Nathan will know about that. Viper's Ken, he's
Look at
reeling him in
this.
here. And Matt Wilson's played a part, but look how close he is now. 4/10 the gap. I mean, surely not another last lap drama like last week.
I don't know where he's gonna. I don't know where he's gonna
The good thing
overtake
for
him.
Nathan is there's no more DRSs though, is there? If there was another DRS down here, he'd be in trouble. There's no more, is there?
Yeah, Mark's
That's
ghosts in
the
the
plus
in,
for
Vi-
Nathan.
in the way Vipers Ken really, so it's a bit of a distraction.
One more lap here, I think Nathan would have been in trouble. Big trouble. But one more, I think he's all right.
I think
One more lap though, Matt. I think he'd have lost the race. I really do think he'd have lost the race.
one last chicane. Vipers throws his car in, but Nathan.
Oh, I thought it was Nathan. I panicked for a minute. I thought it was Nathan.
did as well.
I mean, Vipers Ken, fair play, is going to push Nathan right to the wire with a little bit of help from Matt Wilson. But it looks like, bar any mistakes on the last corner, that Nathan will bring home, and he's going to bring home 2 wins on the spin. He's going to look, he's weaving, he's showing off already.
He loves it.
But Nathan, back-to-back wins. He wins the Imola Grand Prix. 2 wins in a row for Nathan as he closes the gap a little bit at the top to Imola to DC. Solid drive to get himself on the podium for Ferrari. Jack Bowie in the end, Matt, to be fair, a good effort in 4th on the mediums.
Very good effort. I think he'd be happy with that. Alex Dobson, 5th. Bailiff just keeping the little one behind him in 6th. The little one pushing with his ERS towards the line. Does cross the line.
And
Jalen,
Jalen, to be
disappointing
fair,
day
wasn't
for
in the
him.
mix at all, was he? Wasn't in the mix at all, but he did get a couple of points there, so
Yeah,
not a
stayed
bad
in the
effort.
race, didn't he? One more lap, and I think Vipers might have had him, but
Well, I'll tell you something, if you remember on lap 1, DC had to pit. He ended up getting a podium there, so a very good effort from great recovery from DC.
very, very true.
But all I'm saying is, Matt, 2 wins in a row for Nathan, no points for your Owen. Maybe we've ripped the title race off too soon, I'm not too sure, but I mean, he's gaining on him. He gained last week, he's gained massively tonight. I mean, there's a long way, there's 8 races to go yet. If he, it's Saudi maybe next week, anything can happen there. I mean, if Nathan was to win next week and your own DNF again, I mean, is it over? I mean, Nathan's got a lot of points, don't forget. 2 points a pole. He gets fastest lap as well. I mean, not often you see the winner get fastest lap. So it's a pretty much clean sweep for Nathan. Pole position, the win and fastest. It is a clean sweep for Nathan. I mean, is it over? Has he got a chance? What do you reckon?
Possibly. Very, very possibly. I'd be interested to see why Jerome retired, but someone's got to take advantage. Nathan's took advantage. Vipers Ken also picking up quite a few points as well, so you never know. You never know.
I'm going to give my driver day to DC tonight, I think. I mean, Nathan's done a great job and so Vipers Ken, but DC 16th, had to pit on lap 1 down to 16th place. I know there's a few safety cars that helped him get back into the race, but good consistency there. And a really good podium, so I'm going to give it personally to DC tonight. I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to give it to DC.
Yeah, I think I'll agree with you. I think it'd be easy to give it to Nathan. Obviously, I know he's had a very solid drive. Vipers was sort of up there as well for the majority of the race, but considering all the chaos that happened, I think DC's he's just kept it clean, hasn't he? Don't think he had any pens and got up to a podium, so yeah, I'll agree with you with DC.
We're in agreement. I like it.
Love that.
Always a plus. It's always a plus when we're in agreement and we don't pick different ones, because you have a bit of a dilemma, don't you, then, who to pick. But no, I think it was a good solid drive from Dan tonight. Had a bit of, like I said, we mentioned it before, a bit of a hit and miss start to his season so far for Ferrari, but I believe that's the first podium of the season for him. I will double check that, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And I couldn't ask for a better person to get a podium, because he's a great guy and someone that works hard every week. So, I mean, what it does do, and we've already mentioned it, but it just gives that little bit of something in the championship, doesn't it? It just gives your own something to think about, because I know the gap was about 70 points before tonight, so it's still a big gap, but Nathan's in good form here. 2 pole positions in a row, 2 wins in a row. He's doing everything possible to try and catch your own. I mean, he can't do any better than tonight, can he, with a clean sweep like that?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's maybe a sign that he's picking up form. It shows that he can compete and he's quicker than the guys who've been up there. So yeah, Nathan could go on a streak. I can't remember what he said last week about Imola, and if he said that it wasn't a track he was a fan of, I can't remember. But looked pretty good out there tonight. He kept Vipers Ken, a good second behind him. And if it wasn't for Mark Wilson giving him that bit of DRS, I don't think he'd have broken within a second. So, yeah, I think let's hope that it adds a little bit to the title fight.
Well, we are off to Saudi Arabia for a hedge racing first next week, the first ever race in Saudi Arabia in this league. So who will be the first ever person to win a race in Saudi? We'll try and get the boys in for a quick interview, as always. It's nice to get them in. I'll try and I can invite myself. I'm not streaming that, so I should be okay to.
Yeah.
Roles are reversed. It's my turn to invite them.
Yeah, well, yeah, get you to do a bit of work tonight. It's been a nice easy night for you, so do a bit of work.
I will message them all very quickly and see if any of them want. And if they do, we'll get them in. If not, no problem. Not everyone wants one. I love it personally. I like looking at me and having an interview.
You love the limelight, don't you? Love it.
Whoa, what do you mean like that? Whoa. Yeah, I can't lie, I do. But a great race, and once again, I don't think we've had a bad race this season yet, genuinely. I don't think we've had one bad Grand Prix. I mean, Saudi Arabia, you're not going to get rain in Saudi Arabia. I'll tell you what, you're going to get a great race because it's a great track for the wheel, but it's a tough circuit. And
plenty of walls.
Oh, there's a lot of walls, and it'll be a track where I'm sure it'll cause a bit of a stir, shall we say? But well done to DC, who has been given as the driver of the day, and I've been told that all three of them want an interview, so we'll try and get all three in the chat. Now, Matt, I'm going to let you lead the interviews next. Your main comms tonight. Your main comms. I'll chip in with a question here and there, but you're the main man tonight, mate.
I think you should step in and this is your bit. This is your bit.
You're the main man, though, mate. You're the main man.
I've done this.
My voice has gone, mate. I'm trying to get out of my voice. I'm not going to lie to you.
No, not having that. Not having that.
So I've got to do it, have I? A couple of voice cracks and all. That's not going to help me out, is it?
Oh, you'll be fine. Let me try and find them.
I'm doing it. I'm trying to get him myself, but I can't find Vipers Ken. I know I don't have any issues inviting him, but
I've got Vipers Ken. I've got Nathan. DC was the other one.
I've got DC. We have to divide him, so we're good to go then. Cut Matt doing all the work. Makes a change, doesn't it?
It does. Well, that's why I say the interviews.
No, I'm only messing.
Oh,
DC and Nathan are United fans. This would get a bit interesting. I've got to get it in there, haven't I?
Oh God.
Too out I am. Watch them not join. I bet they don't join.
Nathan's just started a voice chat. Is he inviting us for an interview or?
Is he interviewing us? Well, all three of them said they want one, so. Good evening, Dan.
Hiya.
Driver of the day, Riyad Mahrez. That's all I'm going to say.
So that's the interview over, thank you.
No, joking aside, mate. First of all, you are driver of the day tonight, so.
I know, mate,
you had a bit of a dig last week, didn't you? Because he was like, why did Nathan get it and not me?
No, I didn't expect me to get it. I just,
Oh, right. Alright, well, you are officially driver of the day, mate, so.
That's what we're like to do. Thank you very much.
Well done. Podium. I mean, how's it feel to get a podium in this league?
Hey, well, I got one already. Singapore. We did interviews, didn't we?
He's had a shocker
tonight. I can't lie. I've had an apps. Let me off. Forgive me.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You've had a good day.
It's been a very good day. But I don't want to. I'm not going to rub it in.
That's for another time.
We're here to talk about F1, and you did get your second podium of the season tonight. I mean, how did you find it? Because you had a shocking lap one.
Oh yes. I just broke way too late. Right into the back of Hobbsy, and that was it. Orange wing, had to pit, but banked on the safety cars. Didn't pit when everybody else did. Got myself in a good race position, and just kept it going from there.
Yeah, because there was a few safety cars for that, which always helps you get back into the race. But I mean, what was it like? And this was a first question for all of you. But what was it like trying to get past the medium runners after the safety car? Because they defended for the line. I know Bowie was another one that was in the mix, wasn't he, on the mediums? Was it just trying to wait for your moment and not rush anything?
Yeah, that was it. It was a case of, I noticed Bowie was flashing, so he'd used all of his ERS. It's quite hard to harvest it back up round here. So it was a case of I'd saved a little bit and was just able to get past him. Then that meant that people like Juan, who was on the softs, people behind him on the softs were held up because they then had to wait for their moment. So I was able to make a little bit of leeway, and then that was it.
Well, I'm looking at the standings, of course. Still shooting to be done, but I think you'll be in the top 5 after tonight, which is not bad going at all. That. Yeah, top 5. Yeah.
Tidy.
Not bad. No, I can't say the same about United that aren't. So they're in the top 5.
Knew we'd drop it in. There it is.
Just about in the top 5, aren't they? But
None of this.
you know, had to get it in there. Come on, got to do it, Anna. Got to do it. But no, joking aside, mate. Very, very well done tonight. Podium and driver of the day. So
I appreciate
solid
it.
result.
I feel like I deserve that driver of the day.
Well, I'm hoping I speak to you on Thursday. Maybe I'll see you again this week.
You never know. I had a bit of a shocker, but that's for CRL. That's not for you.
Yeah. Well, very well done, mate, tonight.
Cheers, mate.
Take care, pal. We'll move on to P2. I think it's got to do it in order, haven't we, Matt? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Norm is someone that, well, I spoke to Vibes many times as a race winner in an interview. Not quite the race win tonight. I mean, Mark Wilson nearly gave him the race win. One more lap. I think he may have challenged for it, but Mr. Vipers Ken, are you with us?
Yes, I am.
How did it go from your perspective?
Wait, I need to check one thing because I don't think I've shared my voice.
Oh.
Yeah, I
right,
have now.
Perfect. We're good to go.
Should be. Yeah. Sorry, what did
Wouldn't
you ask?
Just let us know. I went from your perspective, mate. How did you find it?
Yeah, it was a bit. I think a lot of happened behind me because I saw like how many people finish, or like not much, but
yeah,
for me I was just focused on my own race, basically, just not putting too much attention on like gaps behind me, gaps in front of me, just driving my own race. So I didn't actually notice a lot of these incidents, but yeah,
there's a few, some big collisions.
Yeah, I saw
big
like
crashes.
I don't know, 8-9 people finished.
Yeah, 9 out of the 18, so we lost half the grid.
Yeah, that's sick actually.
Welcome to Edge Racing, everyone.
Yeah, exactly. That's insane. But yeah, I just focused on my own race. So yeah, that's basically it.
What are your aims for this season? Because obviously for 2 seasons you've won the championship. There's a certain other Dutch driver that's doing very well this season. No points tonight for him though, so you have closed the gap a little bit. Do you genuinely think you can catch him and beat him?
It's definitely possible, but I already think that it's like a really difficult task that's not gonna work out. But yeah, we'll just see race for race. I just try to do my best, try to get as maximum points as possible, and then we'll just see in the end. Just not really a focus.
All I'm going to say is, and I mentioned it to Matt before, race 14 of 14's in Netherlands. Imagine last race of the season. We see a Dutch battle for the title.
I'd love that.
On the Netherlands, on my track, I voted for it. So
I did vote for it as champion. So it's got all the ingredients.
Exactly.
I want to see and Nathan might be in the mix as well. But
yeah,
could you imagine last race of the season? Oh,
Love that.
Yeah, that would be tasty.
It's a while away yet. Don't get me wrong. There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
I meant to ask DC as well. I don't know if he's still here. I'll ask him in a moment. But we're in Saudi Arabia next week. Of course, not races track in this league. So how are you? Have you done any practice around Saudi Arabia? Have you raced around there?
No, I actually didn't.
Oh.
So it's like the first time when I'm starting practicing. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll get some in, mate. I mean, I think it'll be a good race that next week. Well done for your P2, and well, hopefully we'll speak to you again next week, mate. But it's nice to hear from you because you normally someone that was here every week talking to me.
Yeah, but now it's not that regularly anymore.
It's been a while, but it's nice to have you back, and I'm sure we'll see you again. I want to see some more wins from you now again.
I hope so. I want it as well, but we'll see.
Well, Mark Wilson, how much did you pay Mark Wilson tonight? He nearly got you the win at the end there.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Well, he was lap, wasn't he? But he gave you that DRS, which was.
Yeah.
I don't think Nathan was too impressed with that at the time.
Yeah, that was a bit like, I don't know, that was a bit weird move. It helped me a lot, to be fair. Otherwise, I don't think I would be in his DRS range. At the final laps.
Definitely helped. I think another lap to go, you might have had a push there, but a good result overall, mate. Very well done.
Yeah, I'm very happy. So, thanks.
Well done, mate. Take care, pal.
Yes, you too.
And finally, back-to-back race wins. He's here again. I think he's here anyway. I think he's here. Is he here?
I'm here.
He is here. He's here. Winning just like City. Well done, Nathan. Whoa! Ban in, race ban, lead ban.
You had
Whoa.
to get the football in.
To be
didn't
fair,
you?
I deserve that. I can't lie. Got to get it in. Got to get a little dig in. No, but joking aside, first league win. I mean, it was a bit less dramatic than the last week. But
Almost.
2 wins in a row. I mean, well, it wasn't far off, was it? It wasn't far off. But 2 wins in a row. I mean, it's the perfect night. Fastest lap and pole. We didn't want to give you Jared because it's a bit greedy that I didn't winning all 4. Never been done before that, so you know. I just thought DC was brilliant with what he did, but overall, great result.
he deserved to drive.
More solid points. I mean, do you think you can catch your Owen?
I don't know how far he is ahead of me, but possibly.
According to my maths, and I got an E in maths, so it's going to take me a minute.
Don't trust a word he says.
No, I think you're about, on average, obviously before Stuart, I don't think Stuart will change. You're about 45 points behind him, give or take a few.
So what will Nathan have got tonight, Hedge? What with the points?
He will have got 25 for the win, 1 for fastest lap, and 2 for pole. So 28 points tonight. So you're doing better than me, Matt. So you do some very quick maths there. So I don't think it's a good idea if I do it.
28. I think he'll be on something like 77 points, something like that.
So it's about what?
So it's
Well,
about,
when you
they'll be about 40, 44, 43 point gap, something like that.
Okay.
You weren't far off.
With 8 races to go.
I mean,
Well, you're in form, aren't you? You're in form.
yeah, I mean at the moment, Jeroen's having like a bad patch of form, and I seem to be just doing better than in the last few races. So I think for like the next few, I'll just be focusing on trying to beat him only. Is Ken above me as well?
Oh, you've tested me there.
There was a 3-point gap going into this race.
Okay.
Then you're in front of me.
So we might have just jumped in with the fastest lap and everything, maybe.
Yeah.
You were rapid that race, to be fair. Like, sorry. Man, that was when he's hurt so
it was
much.
tense in the end.
What did you think of Matt Wilson giving him DRS at the end?
Oh, I was not happy.
I can imagine that.
I was actually more unhappy that he kind of like got in the way of Ken. Like he let me through completely, and then he just decided to drive through Ken for a little bit. I was like, come on now, I don't want this to kind of affect anything. I still like thought I would win in that position I had at the time, but
Yeah.
they wanted to like spin or crash or something like that. So I was a bit disappointed, but you know, just happy that.
I will tell you, it was quite interesting hearing it in the party. It was quite entertaining to listen.
So you can't repeat a few words that we said then, maybe.
No comment.
No.
No, I'll ask you very quick because I didn't get to ask you, but it's Saudi next week. How are you? Have you done any practice race there? Or?
Yeah, we've done races in ISRL, I think, haven't we, Nathan? I know we did back end of last season, so on this game, obviously on this game because it's not been on another game. But, I think I got a podium finish there, so it's
no pressure.
If I can translate that pace into this, I think I can get a half decent result again.
Nathan?
Yeah,
Saudi?
I had a league race around there Saturday or yesterday, so I got a podium. Yeah, it's a good track for me actually, so I look forward to it.
Yeah. Pleasure. Thank you for all 3 of you for joining us as always.
Thank you for the
Absolutely. I mean, thank you to Matt. I wasn't here for Q1. I was watching the football.
Edge only turned up about 5 minutes ago. To be honest, he just jumped in.
Especially late.
You won over 100 quid, so we'll let you off.
I won £200. Thank you to AC Lance. I was in the front room screaming on BT Sport.
We'll let you off as long as you send 20.
I wouldn't even lie. I missed Q1 because of that. I knew Matt had it in safe hands, so I thought, you know what, I'm watching the football.
Send 20 quid my way and I'll forgive you.
So no, thank you to Matt. Don't thank me. I was awful. I'm having a shocker tonight.
I think I'm the one who needs 20 quid, Hedge, for carrying the stream. My back's hurting because I've carried the stream tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching it back, boys. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, what pleasure. Thank you to all 3 of you for joining us, and well done to Nathan for the win.
Cheers. GG, guys.
Cheers, guys.
And there we go. Matt, another week, another Sunday night, another race done. I'm shattered. I mean, it's been a long weekend, not just because of the commentary, Didn't do much commentary tonight, did I? Missed half of it.
You've had a nice, easy night.
But I mean, it's another amazing. Have we had a dull race yet? I don't think we have.
I don't think so, and I can't see Jeddah being dull. I think with the amount of how high speed it is, how tight it is, it's like a high speed Monaco. One mistake round there, and it's you're in
Game
a war.
over.
It's game over. I mean, we could see some shock results, some overtakes. It's gonna be absolute chaos. But
Bring it on.
I'm looking forward
Midway-
to it.
Well, where's time gone? It's a midway point next week. In Belgium felt like yesterday, and at the
Yeah.
midway point next week in Saudi. So
Flown by.
it's all to play for. And Nathan and Vipers Ken have closed the gap on the man at the top. I mean, it is not over yet. Maybe we've said it too early, Matt. Maybe we've give it to your own too early. I think Nathan and Ken and a couple of us might have something to say about this.
Yeah, well, I saw Jerome put something in the chat. I can't remember I don't know it was who he tagged, but he said something about someone going for moves when they shouldn't have, and something about needing new front wings. So I think Jerome might have been in an incident, and he's jumped into the pits, and because he was just so angry about
Just retired.
Yeah, I think that could be what caused him to retire, which shows that if things don't go his way, then he might a bit of frustration could creep in, and who knows?
It certainly leaves us with a I think we're a closer gap going into next week in what will be another amazing race. It's basically like you say, it's the Monaco of this calendar, isn't it, this year? Saudi Arabia. No, Monaco's not on the calendar, so it's basically Monaco.
It is. Are you gonna turn up next week, Hedge? Or are you...
I'll be in Q1. Look, City aren't playing next Sunday, so
they're not. Oh.
Monday night next week. Oh, it's Cone. Oh no! I've watched it on my phone while I'm racing in Cone. I don't race on Mondays. My head's gone. I do, don't I? Yeah, I do race on Mondays. My head's gone today. I'm all over the show.
Shocking.
So it's Crystal Palace away next Monday. But I think we're done. That's us done tonight. I mean, first of all, Matt, and I just want to say thank you because without you, I think there was no Q1 there. So.
My pleasure.
I wasn't missing that key. I was not missing that football for anything. No, joking aside, thank you very much, mate. I'm for streaming as well. I'm assuming I watched it back. But I'm assuming we had no issues. I don't think we did.
No, I think
unlike my stream that normally cuts out. So we're on to a winner there.
Yeah, seemed good. Yeah. Pleasure.
As always, my friend, and we will see you all next Sunday night, same time, same place. I will be if you want. I promise you. We're in Saudi Arabia, the first ever Saudi Arabia Grand Prix in this league. So that'll be a nice little addition to the history books of the league. And we're at the midway point. It's race 7 of 14 next week. So after this time next week, we've done half of the calendar already.
Crazy.
Time flies when you're having fun. It's been a great weekend. Thank you, Matt. I mean, I feel like I'm ending the stream myself. If it's your stream, you can do it whenever you want. But no, all I want to say is to end off on. Well done to Nathan. The Williams is blue, and so's Manchester.
Oh, I love that.
Good night.
Love that.